Alrighty, guys. Good afternoon. It's 4:03 p.m., guys, Pacific time. It's also the 6th of February, guys. Um, just like I said, a couple streams. This month has been passing very, very fast, and so I want to thank everyone coming over here, showing support. Remember, we do here from Monday to Friday. We do stocks and crypto, guys. Feel free to hit the like, the share, and the follow, guys. On the like goal, I only ask for 2 likes, guys. I don't ask for much. We're almost about to hit 150 followers, guys. This channel has been going very fast. I'm very, very happy. Um, Thanks to everyone out there that you know came over here, show support, and as a token of gratitude, I'm also gonna be jumping on other streams and showing support as well. Just like I said a couple streams ago, a third Ralify. Uh, hey fam, appreciate it. Thank you, appreciate it for the support. Thank you for coming by. Um, Go ahead. Anybody who doesn't know who's third Ralify, go ahead, show support and hit the like, the share, and the follow, guys. They do very good content over there. So don't forget over there, and don't forget to go ahead and show support over there. Red Sixer fan AI music with the W. Whoa, appreciate it for coming by. Anybody who doesn't know the music, this kind of music, that's where it's coming from. It's coming from Red Sixers fan. That's his music. You guys can go ahead and go to his channel here on Rumble and show support. Hit the like, the share, and the follow, guys. He has really good music, really good content, guys. Go ahead, show support over there as well. Thank you for coming, Red Sixer. Thank you. And so, just like I said, this is a healthy community. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be continuing to do this. So appreciate it, you guys. And so, before we start, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and run down all the names that I put in my effort to show some hours of support and everything, because normally what happens, in Rumble, I'm pretty much talking anybody who does content on Rumble. There's some metrics that we all have to hit, right? Which is, you got the hours that you have to stream. You have the chatter count that Rumble is requesting. Also, we go premium, and so that right there also adds to the what the company's requesting as well. And so, there's a couple more things. You got the raids and everything, and so at least I'm putting at least 4 hours of my time. Just like I said in many streams, I'm putting at least 4 hours of my time, just showing support to every person that showed support to me. And so, anybody I have it here on green, right, is all the people that have been showing support. Little by little, I show at least an hour of my time, and help them with the chat count. Help them with at least an hour of view count. And so that helps them as well. If any of you guys do content creation and are trying to do the same thing, even if you guys are not, cannot be like a full hour showing support to many content creators, at least you could, if you have your phone, you could go ahead and show support by just leaving the stream on, or on whoever you're showing support. And make sure you hit the like, repost the stream, and that will help them, that will help them on their journey. And so that's kind of what we're doing. At least spending at least an hour. Some of you, are very busy, and so Some of you cannot do 4 hours, but at least an hour or 30 minutes of your time is awesome. You know, that will help many content creators out there. And so, just like I said, I mean, we have a long list. And so everybody that's green, I mean, Hernandez 2787, Skyhawk, Sin 357, that's G2G Gaming, guys. Just in case if you guys don't know. Also another good content creator. Anybody that I'm mentioning here, I mean, you guys could go ahead and show support. Even the ones that I haven't marked as well. If you, I mean, on your time, you guys could go ahead and pause the video and just screenshot and just check every single one of them, you know, separately on your time and show support. I mean, these are good content creators, really good people, very healthy community. And yeah, Retro Hawk Gaming, another good content creator. Fodub, I mean, all these people that I've, and even the ones that I haven't mentioned yet, all of these guys are really, really good guys. Savio is another one. Yesterday we spent a couple hours helping him out with you know, some view count as well. Um, Logical Raven, another one, another good content creator. Awesome. He hangs out a lot with G2G Gaming. They do Fortnite, so that on their couple streams, I mean, they've been doing really good over there. Ryu Muramasa, another one I've spent a little time helping them out with some hours viewership. Today we spent a little bit on TTV Glamour X. I wasn't able to be there I couldn't see like the whole stream, but at least I left because I had an appointment today with my wife. I mean, my wife is pregnant, and so you know, while I was in the appointment, I left everything on. I mean, I had I had the whole stream, and she was still streaming. So she's a hustler. So I was like, oh shoot, she's still streaming, and I mean, I had a couple hours there. I had my tabs on my computer open and everything, and so I was able to help over there with some viewer count. So I hope that worked for her. Also Airconda TV Gaming, really good content creator as well. I mean, all of these people are great. They're awesome. Cami Cams as well. A couple of days ago, I showed support over there. Interstellar Gaming, another good one. Stuff Central, really good content creator as well. Red Sister fan with the banana banana dance. Appreciate it. Thank you. And so, you know, Ninja Gaming 23, another good one. Very good content. DYOR Media, I've met him. Well, I didn't met him personally, but I'm saying like he came to my stream, showing support. And I checked some of his content as well. He does crypto. You know, they focus more on crypto. So go ahead, check them out. Really good content as well. Just like B Money as well. B Money, another good content creator as well. Yeah, go ahead and show support to all those content creators. And yeah, you out on your own time, you could go ahead and, you know, pause the stream, you know, when the stream is done or whenever you can, and grab all those names. And, you know, if you guys could show support to every single one of them, then that would be awesome. And so let's go ahead and go to the next thing. So we already hit our like goal. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for the support. I don't ask for much, but any little bit will be you know, it's appreciated, you know. And so just like I said, at the end of the month, anybody who follow me for February, guys, as a token of appreciation, I'm gonna go ahead and mention every single one of them, you know, on that follow me on February. And I'm also gonna go ahead and run like a roulette, and whoever wins, I'm gonna go ahead and send a nice donation to you guys, as a token appreciation. Whoever wins of the roulette. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump to the next screen, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoy the rest of the stream. And yeah, if you guys can't be here for the full stream, I appreciate you guys stopping by. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. So as you can see here, guys, on the left side, I mean, just like I said, every stream, I pretty much do it purposely, where, you know, I explain almost the same thing, and it's for the reason that this doesn't take to learn what I know doesn't take a couple days, doesn't take a couple weeks. It takes a little bit of time. For me, unfortunately, it took like 10 plus years for me to get it. But I'm trying to show you guys, a better way, much easier and faster for you guys to really get it. And the only ways you guys could get it, like get the information, is input it in your brain, faster, is for me, keep on repeating, repeating, repeating. And so by me doing this, you guys could like understand and grasp what I'm explaining. Okay, and eventually, over time, hopefully you guys could, if you guys are really interested in learning what I know, then over time you will become self-sufficient, and that's the goal. That's my goal, so that whatever I'm teaching, if you're really interested and you want to know about stocks and the type of, you're interested in trading and everything, then this type of information, that's kind of my purpose here, is to show you guys to be self-sufficient. And eventually you don't need me no more, and I did my job to teach you guys, and that's pretty much the goal. Okay, and so let's go ahead and start. So anything on my left, guys, Retro Hawk Gaming says Boricua Pati coming in for a bit, got your reposted and a like. Appreciate it. Thank you for the support. Thank you for showing up. Go ahead, show support to Retro Hawk Gaming, another content creator, guys. Go ahead, if you guys could, support each other, follow each other, that would be awesome. And so let's go ahead and continue. So whatever you see on my left, guys, that's a website that I use to scan for new stocks. Okay, and based on your criteria, along the way, once you create a criteria, and let's say you don't want to use any other softwares out there, this is one of them that you could use out of many out there. And so this right here, is for scanning. I mean, you can scan any different type of market cap, stocks. And when I'm saying market cap, is it means the total company value. So there's different types of companies with different values. You got the bigger $1 billion companies, and you got the smaller $1 million companies. Everything is different, and I have a criteria, right, which what you see here on my left side. I'm trying to have I have problems pointing, because normally when I had my camera flipped, and so wherever I point exactly where. But now that I can't do that, because I get confused, and it's because um I'm trying to show the Rumble name correctly, but my wherever I point, if it's the left or the right, it's not I'm not doing it correctly, because I had to flip the cameras, so. But it's okay, hopefully you guys get the message, and that's the most important thing. And so what you see on the left is the website, right, that we're going to use later on to scan the stocks. And what you see on the right side, right, is a document where I have my criteria, right. Anybody that's coming new here, this is what I have, my criteria. DTW TV, whoa, thank you for coming around and showing support. I appreciate it very much. DTW TV is another content creator, guys. Go ahead, show support over there as well. And so the 6th, today is the 6th, and so we're gonna go ahead and change the time and everything. Over here I'm west coast, so my time is 4:17. However, the market works Eastern time, because the New York Stock Exchange, just like you hear it, it's in New York, and it's the most active stock exchange in the US. So we use Eastern time, guys. Easter DT.TV, appreciate it. So yeah, let's go ahead and continue. So over here on the notes, right, on my right side, I have here focus on market cap, which is the total company value, right? When scanning for stocks under 300 million market value, okay? Company value. See, company value. Let me fix that. And it's my personal preference. Everybody has different preferences. Whatever worked for you, that would be awesome. This is how kind of how I have it. This is how I have it set up. So hopefully, if you're trying to follow a little bit of my steps, then hopefully it works for you. But you can make adjustments. You don't have to do exactly what I do. Remember, this is a general statement. This is all educational purpose. On my description, guys, I have a disclaimer as well. I would love for you guys to read it to understand, that this is only for educational purposes, and this is I'm nowhere licensed. I'm not a professional. I'm just a typical guy that knows a little bit about stocks. Knows a good bit of stocks and everything, and I'm just showing you guys tips and tricks here and there on how to find the stocks and everything. Okay. So let's get that over with, and so let's go ahead and show you guys more. So this is my criteria: pre-market and market open, right? This criteria is used for those type of times, right? So pre-market, guys, is pretty much from 4 o'clock to 9:30 a.m., guys, right? And just so you guys could see clearly, right? We're gonna go to the Nasdaq web, so yeah, so I can show you guys exactly what I mean. Okay, Nasdaq, and you could go to Google, go anywhere, and just type exactly what I'm typing: trading hours. Okay, and then you're gonna see the Nasdaq link here, and you click it there. I mean, you could also ask ChatGPT. I mean, nowadays everything is AI, so I mean, you don't have to do a lot of work nowadays. But this right here is a list of the holidays, right? These are the time, the dates here posted where the market is gonna be closed. November 27 is just gonna be temporary open, and then it's gonna close for the rest of the day after 1 p.m. Okay, that's this is good to track. Along the way, I don't want you guys to wake up one day, like on the 16th, you wake up and you're like, oh, I'm about to trade, and then all of a sudden the market is closed. You're like, what the hell is going on? uh third ratified, the stock in Boricua Pati is going up, baby. Appreciate it for the support, thank you. And so right here, guys, as you can see, these are the dates that it's going to show that the market is closed. Now if you scroll a little bit down, it's going to tell you what are the trading hours for the Nasdaq, right? You have the Nasdaq stock market hours, which is the open, right, when the stock market opens, which is 9:30 in the morning, Eastern time, and then it closes at 4 p.m. Eastern time. Right now, this is it closes temporary, right? The reason why I say it's temporary is because it continues to run on an extended hours, guys. Okay, so it runs from 4 p.m. all the way to 8 p.m. Okay, at 8 p.m. it totally closes completely. All the brokers don't, they don't push orders at after 8. Everything stops. Okay, until the early morning, right, of 4 in the morning. At 4 in the morning, then you have pre-market, right? And so pre-market, it's just temporary opening from 4 in the morning to 9:30 in the morning. And so after that, then the market opens. There's a lot of activity, and that's when you start that's when everything starts running very fast. There's a lot of all the brokers, all the all well, this is the exchange Nasdaq, and so all the brokers that were not open earlier, they open everything up and they push every order there is pending at 9:30. Okay, and so this is pretty much it. You guys could look this up, or you guys could go ahead and go to Chat GPT and find that information. It's very easy, it's not difficult. So let's go back to the document. Hopefully you guys understand the hours. And so just like I said, this criteria that I use for pre-market and market open. Okay, from 4 o'clock in the morning to 9:30 to 4 o'clock p.m. Sorry about that. And so I want to use a percentage change, guys. Okay. For this, when the market activity is is there, because based on the percentage change, then I can move to the other different criteria that I have, which is checking, if I find anything that's over 20%, right, which I that's part of my criteria, then I want to go ahead and keep going down my list of criterias to qualify these stocks that I'm watching. Okay. The next thing will be the market, the company value, which is the market cap, right? And so I want to see anything under 300 million. And the reason why I want to see anything under 300 million, by you know the time that I've been doing this, the years that I've been doing this, I have noticed a lot of companies that are under that range. They have way more. It's way more easy for them to go up value in go a significant value over a short period of time compared to the bigger stocks that are 1 billion, 10 billion, $100 billion company value. you know it, those are two different beasts. Neurodivergent uh set to third verified sub, Sean. Okay. They talking there, so I appreciate neurodivergent one, appreciate it for showing up and showing support over here. And so let's go ahead and continue. So this is the criteria that I use, right, for pre-market and market open, right? And I focus on market cap. That's the first thing I focus. I want to see that stock over 20% is at the range of under 300 million company value. Okay. And after that, I go ahead and keep going, looking down, on my criteria, and I want to focus on anything that's under $20 per share, right? And no, and over $1 per share, right? That's kind of where my niche is. Also, I want to see, the supply and demand. I want to see the volume, right? The volume has to be over a million, right? It's easy for me to get in, and the volume is just, the buying and selling, a pressure, and so all those shares being available to trade at whatever stock that you're looking at, that's considered the float. Okay. And so that's the supply. Whatever shares that are available to trade at that specific time for the stock, that's considered the float. Okay. I will also want to see anything under 10 million. That's kind of my personal preference. It's considered a low float. And so that's a little bit summary of that. So if you understand supply and demand, it makes it way more easy to jump into the stacks and understand stocks. You can understand business. If you know supply and demand, you can understand business a lot better. And so those are the two things that I ask. When you have volume over 1 million, it's very easy to get in the trade and get out the trade. You won't get stuck, waiting for your shares to either be bought, you know and stuff like that, or you trying to get in the buy shares, and there's nobody that's selling shares at that moment. So that's very important to have, over a million. Another thing is to check the trend of the stock, through a trading chart platform that you may find comfortable using. And so I use Webull. That's my personal one, but you guys could use TradingView. As you can see here, this is the platform that I'm going to use to show you guys a little bit on how the stocks move, how the price action moves on a stock. And so, I mean, there's plenty out there, guys. You got Yahoo Finance, Google. I mean, there's so many different types of companies out there, softwares that have good, way better charting platforms. There's way better. Now, there's some of them that are, you have to have a subscription to see the real time price action, on the software, with a charting system. And there's other ones that are free, like Webull, but you have to set it up. You got to remember to, if you guys could see on YouTube, there's other people that would explain on how to set it up. Neurodivergent one says, make sure you hit that follow, smash the thumbs up, and repost, peeps. Appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Yes, guys. Don't forget to hit the like, the share, and the follow, guys. And if you guys can do a little bit of extra and show support to the chatters as well, I would appreciate it, guys. Those that will come up not only now but in the future as well. Go ahead, show support to any of those that showed support to me as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue. So let's go run down a little bit more. So just like I said, I also like to see the charts. The first thing I would love to see is check if the stock has history of running, and the only way I can see that is through the daily chart. You can see here, for an example, if you go to the daily right here, you can see the overall trend of the stock. Right now, it doesn't look good. Everything look like it's coming down. And so it's very important to see this. This is crypto, by the way. But if you guys are watching stocks, we could see, for an example, SPY, right, which is a ETF, which is the overall trend of the stock. And this is the price data of it. Red Sister Fan says, I am watching while I make shorts. Awesome. Thank you for the support. So right here, as you can see, you can see history that it had ran before. Again, over here after the dip, it had ran a couple more months and years. Same with this. You can see that it has some history of running, and overall, this stock right here, this ETF, is healthy because it's in the uptrend. Okay, and so those are good things to see. Those are good things to learn. The uptrends, the downtrends, key terms like support, right? Key terms like resistance. Where the buyers at located, where a good amount of buyers are located, and good amount of sellers are located. And so those things, in order to see it, you have to see the level 3, the level 4, and it will give you the information on how to detect where are the majority of buyers and where are the majority of sellers, putting a lot of big orders, and and you can make decisions based on pattern recognition. There's a lot of things you guys could go ahead and learn from, but I think it's a little bit too much information for you guys, for some of you guys that are learning. So I'm just here teaching you little things slowly. Okay, so hopefully you guys are not too overwhelmed, but yeah, on the daily chart, that's all we're looking for. We're looking for any way we could find history of stocks running. Okay, Boricua Pati 24 say, hey, do you raid out when you finish? Oh yeah, sure. I don't do it often. Sometimes I do it when I don't do it when I have like 1 viewer or 2 viewers, but I do it when it's like 7 or 8 or something like that, or even 5. I go ahead and raid out. I appreciate you asking, but yes, we do raids. Hopefully we could do one today if we have a lot of viewers. But let's go ahead and continue, guys. So any questions, anything about, any questions of stocks or anything like that, or any other questions, go ahead, feel free to hit the chat or the comments, however you feel, whatever you feel asking. Red Sister Fan says, I would suggest doing it every time. Awesome. Yeah. Whatever works. Whatever works. So I appreciate you commenting, and so let's go ahead and continue, guys. Right here, as you can see, guys, we have a list of criteria that we use, right? Without this, we cannot continue trading. We can make a decision to trade the stock or start to make a watch list. Okay, and so later on, I'm going to show you guys how to write a watch list as well. Okay, based on the criteria that we have, and if we see something interesting, then we'll go ahead and make a watch list. Okay, And so those are the key things, percentage change, market cap, price, volume, float, right? You want to see the overall trend of the stock. You see if it's healthy or not, or if it has history of running. Next thing is that the stock is it's just like you heard, it's a stock. It's not a ETF. It's not anything else. Any other industry out there that the stock is running. It's making a good move, and so the other key thing is you want to know why it's moving, which is very important. You want to know why it's moving, and in order to see to know why it's moving, you got to check the news, guys. Okay, on certain softwares, you can find there's news built into the software. There's other platforms as well that doesn't have it. So make sure that you can find a platform that has news built in, so that whenever you go ahead and check a stock, you won't have trouble seeing whether the stock does has news or not. Neurodivergent ones say, I recommend rating out at the end, and even if it's just you, it keeps you in the habit and it gives you the channel exposure. Ask because I may have a raid to send in your way. Oh, appreciate it. Thank you for the support. Yeah, thank you for the tip. I will do it often then. Thank you so much. And so, just like I see, guys, just like I said here, performance is very key. News is super key, guys. If you guys don't know about news, um, there's plenty of platforms out there. You got Yahoo Finance. Not only Finviz show you news of stocks, guys. You also have as well, Google. I mean, there's plenty of links. Now, if you guys know, if you guys want, on the Discord, guys, I have a Discord and I have everything. Like there's plenty of links for not only stocks. There's also links for how you call it, crypto as well. And you guys could go ahead and get in there. I mean, you guys don't need to like join the channel, but you guys could get in there, grab what you need. Everything is on the resource channel. And also, if you're somebody that loves reading books like I do, I have also a book list, guys. A list of books there that you know you can learn all kinds of stuff about stocks, trends. I mean, charting. I mean, anything, time frames. Japanese candlesticks. I mean, anything technical or fundamental, guys. Okay, or even the psychological aspect of trading as well. There's plenty of books there. So I recommend you guys to get in there and grab what you need. Okay, so everything is in the Discord, and so let's go ahead and continue. So as you can see here, guys, this is pretty much the criteria for pre-market and market open. Now, if we go to market close, right? Let's say right now is the market is closed. Right now, as you can see, is 7:36 p.m. It's way, it's it's still moving actively, but it's gonna close at 8 o'clock, like definitively. But it normally close. I mean, a great majority of brokers close at 4 p.m. Okay, and so when the market is closed, we pretty much have the same criteria. The only thing that changes is the percentage change, guys. Okay, this is the only thing that changes. There's no, I mean, I have no benefit having the percentage change because it's not moving. So you have a good criteria here. I mean, you guys don't have to follow everything, but if you guys could learn from each and every single term here, that will help you um, on your journey, guys. This will help you on your journey to find what you need to find in the stocks. Really key thing, and you need to understand supply and demand. Okay, I know I repeat myself, but it's very key, guys. Okay, and so crypto here, right? This is what we're gonna use, our criteria that we use for the crypto. And I'm gonna go through this in a couple more, probably in like an hour from now, because we haven't yet scanned for stocks. And so Let's keep going down. So Twitter and X, right? Whatever you want to call it. Let's say for some reason, right, you cannot find any news on none of the softwares that you have, right? Another thing you could do is go through social media like Twitter and X, right? You put the dollar sign and you put right next to it, you put the ticker symbol of the company that you're looking for, at the stock that you're looking at. And once you press enter, right, you get all information if there's any, right? Uh, either companies, either the company that you're looking for posted a really important news there, or either if they didn't post news, you could also see if people are talking about the stock, how actively people are talking about the stock, and so that's really key, right? I don't focus too much on the news, like every detail of the news. I don't focus too much on it because remember the stocks that I look at, they are actively running. They're very fast, and if you don't do your your criteria, if you don't run your criteria and do a watch list very quick, then you might miss your opportunity, guys. Okay. Restless fans say yes, I agree. Oh, I always raid. Awesome, awesome. Yeah, yeah, man. I'm gonna try to do my best today and raid. uh, Restless fan says, better yet, I'm trying to help new streamers interact with chat. Appreciate it. Thank you. Bori is great with his chat. Thank you for the for the nice words. I appreciate it. I do my best. I mean, and this is all thanks to Hernandez 2787. Because at first, when I was doing my stream, at the beginning, I would focus on giving information, and I didn't notice the interaction of the chat. And one day he hit me up, say, "Hey, make sure you interact with your chat." So this is all thanks to him. So I appreciate Hernandez 2787. So if you guys could go ahead and show support on his channel, I'll most likely leave a link below so you guys go ahead and show support over there. Let me see if I find it. There we go. Let me go ahead and leave a link. So bear with me for a second, guys. Very key to always interact with the chat. Because if it's not, if it wasn't for the chat and for the followers, I mean, me, streaming here, this wouldn't be possible, or having to be in the program, it wouldn't be possible without you guys at the end of the day. So I appreciate every single one of you guys. So this is the link. Go ahead. He's live right now. So go ahead, show support, hit the like, the share, and the follow, guys. So let's go ahead and jump right ahead and continue with the stream. Let me see if I have everything. You guys can see everything, and I have my audio on. Okay. So let's go ahead and continue. So just like I said, Twitter and X is another great platform to find news of the stock. Okay, in case of if for any reason you can find nothing on no software out there, right? Go to social media. Uh, let's say you're looking for a specific news, right? Let's say you remember of the stock that you're looking at, and you remember the date, right? Let's say, oh wow, I remember trading this stock. This thing ran a couple months ago. I want to see what people was talking about, or if the company had news in social media, right? You could put this little what do you call that? This little formula, right? That I'm pointing out here, until, and then the two dots there, the year, the month, and the date, right? From recent to old, right? You put that together with the dollar sign and the ticker symbol. You press enter, you put this formula, and then you press enter, right? And once you put that, it's gonna give you specific time frame that you're looking for in the stock, right? Whatever news that there is in between those time frames, you're gonna find it, Okay, and so that's one way you could nitpick whatever news that you're looking for. And so that's pretty much it, guys. I keep it very simple. I don't do too much. I mean, right now I'm 45 minutes in. It might seem like this is a lot, but when you get to know all this, you get to memorize all this. It will only take you 5 minutes, guys, or up to 10 minutes to go through a large amount of stocks that you're looking at. Okay, and so let's go ahead and continue. So it's always good to monitor the overall trend of stocks or crypto, guys. Which is the biggest stock that moves the market? Okay, which is the biggest stock? And so in this case, the S&P 500, right? And the ticker symbols for the S&P 500 is the SPY. Okay, this stock right here, this ETF, this moves the market. Why? Because this ETF holds the 500 best companies in the world, first of all, right? And based on those companies, on each sector that those companies are, um, based on this trend is how the economy is pretty much moving. It gives you kind of like a little short detail on how healthy the economy is. Okay, in the world. I'm not saying only the U.S. In the world. And so um, this thing, there's many different uh ways to see it, but all these big ETFs like SPY, if you see other what do you call that, other ETFs in the world, like Japanese, China, I mean anything, any other exchanges in the world, they almost move almost the same. Okay, not everything is the same, but there's point of time where they almost have the, not identical, but they have their flow. You can see how healthy the economy is in their exchanges. And you can see, okay, well, China is doing good overall. And so in their economy, same thing to see in the US. Okay, the US economy is doing good. And so stocks react in different ways. Could react bad based on an event that's happening in the world. Let's say there's some war happening in the world right now, and let's say the two or three countries are fighting against each other. um that affects the market, and it could affect in a positive way, or it affect in a negative way. And so you will see it in real time in the market, as you can see. Most of the time when there's like viruses happening in the world, and there are a lot of people getting affected by it and everything, you will see the reaction, of the stock. How what do you call that, how important that is. And so that's one way to see, how the stocks react based on events. Also, there's stocks that react off hype. There's people that hype stocks, they promote the stocks, which is not there's certain promoters that do promotions on the stocks that is illegal, and that usually they call it pump and dumps. That's illegal. So you got to be careful, who you listening to or who you looking at. And so um yeah, I mean, there's different ways stock could react. It's not only based on events. You have a majority is based on events, but you also have, different things that can make a stock react. News is very very important to understand. Whether the stock has earnings news, whether the stock has contract news happening, whether a big investor came by and dump a bunch of $1 million into the stock. There's many things, and so little by little you get to understand this. It's not hard to understand over a period of time, as long as you go on your journey, but little by little you guys get it. And so as you can see here for the stocks, I only have one here that I was monitoring it. monitoring. There was another one that I wanted to add, but uh, it already had ran 3 days in a row, and I was a little bit skeptical about it. Eventually, a stock that runs multiple days on the green, they usually have their pullbacks. The pullback could be a significant pullback where if everything that it gained, all the value that it gained for the couple of days that it did ran, it just gave it back. And so sometimes it's positive, sometimes it's negative, sometimes it's a short term pullback, and it then again it continues to run again. But I was a little bit skeptical. Usually, I trade any stocks that have first green days or second green days up to 3 green days, depending on how the trend looks like, on how the pattern looks. But in this case, I just left here BOXL, and so that's the one we're gonna look at. That's the first thing we're gonna go ahead and check. And so I had said here yesterday, failed to execute, and the execution was supposed to test the high day at 237, and it didn't do it. Excuse me, guys. I think I have to sneeze. Appreciate it, guys. Sorry about that. Let me go ahead and find really quick a napkin. Give me a second. Alrighty, guys. Sorry about the delay a little bit. Let's go ahead and continue. So hopefully the mic works properly and everything. Hopefully you guys are seeing everything that I'm seeing. If any audio issues, let me know. I'll do my best to do any adjustments. So let's go ahead and continue. So BOXL is the first one we're gonna go ahead and look on the chart. Let's go ahead and check BOXL, Nasdaq. And so as you can see, the overall trend of BOXL is not great. It did have some history of running here. I mean, you can see some spikes. You can see a couple days that it ran. Now, these numbers here, 4,000, 2,000, 1,000, all this is not real. I mean, this is part of a split that happened. As you can see, you have a 128 split. I mean, that was a cause. Um, you had another split, 125, and a 126 split. So you have multiple splits happening, and so this is the reason, this is the cause of why you see all these big numbers. That doesn't mean that this price at one point went from $1 to 1,000. Okay, so that's one way to see the stocks. And so, but it did had a couple days that it ran green. It was a couple days. So that's good news. That's good thing to see. However, overall, it's not healthy. It's not healthy. It has a overall downtrend completely. Most of the stocks that I watch, guys, they don't succeed on the long run. There's some of them that do succeed, but it's rarely in the year. All we trading is based on price action, guys. It's based on supply and demand for a short period of time. Okay. um this thing had a bunch of negative earnings and a bunch of positive earnings as well, so it's kind of like balanced, but it's not healthy overall, guys. We're just taking advantage of little small moves that we could execute based on volume, right? As you can see here, it had 42 million volume compared to the average. That right there, it has a high rating on the relative value, high relative value. Also, as you can see here, the flow is very low. I mean, on my criteria, I asked for anything under 10 million. This thing went to 927,000. Okay, a float. This is the float, just like I said, is the available shares that the company provides, that the company supplies, that is available to trade in the public market. Okay, so this is a low amount of supply. Okay, compared to that, to the amount of people that are buying and selling. Okay, and so yeah, that's a lot. And so since it's actively trading, then the next thing I want to check is the 5 minute, and I want to see what other results. So as you can see here, guys, today had an excellent day short term. Just like I said, I mean, we're looking for a turnaround above 183 and highs at 237. What happened here at 183? It did exactly like what I said. It broke out off of these levels, right? Right here, if you would have woke up at a good time, if you monitor this correctly, you could have got in here at this candle after the breakout confirmation. And it went up to 10%, guys. 10%. There's a lot of companies out there, a lot of big companies that struggle to hit 10% in the year. And this thing made it in 5 minutes, guys. Okay. Not only, let's say you miss this opportunity, right? You have another breakout opportunity at 215, guys. What happened at 215? This thing had a confirmation breakout, and you could have got in here on this next candle. This thing went from 4% to 21%, guys. That's another. So these are two good wins here that it had, and after that, it just dumped everything out. But it had I mean, it did exactly what we wanted to do. In this downtrending resistance, it broke out of it, and then it didn't only test one time; it tested twice, and then we could tell that the support was too strong for this price action, and so it pushed the price above very high, and so that was pretty good move overall. This for that entire move. Let me see if I could calculate the entire move of this stock was 61%, guys. The whole move. I know for sure some of you guys wouldn't got all 61%, but there's a lot of people out there that timed it right and got in at the right time, and they got 61%. And so that's the awesome move. America's Untold Stories rated the stream. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you for the raid. Thank you very much. Let me see if I can follow you. I don't know if I followed you before. Let me see if I can show support over there. So let's go ahead and follow. They have good news over here. Awesome political news. Anybody who loves politics and everything, go ahead, show support over there. He has 16,000 followers. Awesome guy. I'm very curious. I would love to. I mean, I'm right after the stream. I'm gonna go ahead and hop into this and see what you got here. Appreciate it for showing support. And let's go ahead and continue, guys. Let's go ahead and continue. Thank you, guys. Go ahead, show support to America's Untold Stories. Hit the like, the share, and the follow, guys. Go ahead, show support over there. Wow, we have 113 viewers. Wow, thank you guys for showing support and coming by. We're talking today stocks and crypto, guys. And so the stocks that we're talking about, they're very low price, very cheap. Same thing with the crypto. I appreciate every single one of you guys coming here and showing support. Make sure to hit the like, the share, and the follow, guys. Help me get to over 200 followers. So I appreciate every single one of you guys. Wow, 124. Wow, my goodness. Damn, was not expecting this. Wow, incredible. Thank you so much. America's Untold Stories. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. So yeah, guys, whoever's part of the team already, go ahead, show support to America's Untold Stories. Welcome anyone who's looking at the chat. This is what we do. We do stocks every day. And so Logjam 11, politics in Hollywood and assassination theories. Wow. Incredible. Thank you for coming by and showing support. Appreciate it. Nero Diamond says make sure you hit that follow and smash the thumbs up and repost, peeps. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for being part of the team and showing support here. Thank you for the follow, Lock Jam 11. Thank you. Thank you very much. So let's go ahead and continue, guys. This is very valuable content. We're teaching you guys how to find the stocks and how to, how to analyze a little bit about the stocks and everything. Hopefully you guys like the content. News, current event, politics, Log Jam 11 sounds like a good stream. Thank you. Thank you. Let me go ahead and see if I could join your channel, follow your channels. So news, current event, politics also does a lot of good content, a lot of politics. So anybody who loves politics and want to support on that, go ahead, show support to news, current events, politics, guys. Okay, there's a lot of good content here. I'm super excited. Thank you very much for showing support. We have 143 viewers right now, so thank you very much. I'm overwhelmed, guys. I don't know what to do. But I appreciate every single one of you guys for showing support. Let's go ahead and continue doing stocks. Log Jam 11. Hey, I went ahead and follow you. We have 143 viewers, guys. That's incredible. I'm shocked, guys. I'm shocked. Appreciate it, guys. So let's go ahead and continue. So just like I said, let's go ahead and see here this stock right here, BOXL. We had a look at this thing, and let's see right here. You see right here this downtrending resistance level. I know for some of you guys this is something new that you guys are learning to know, but little by little you get it. Remember every stream that I do, guys, it's almost the same, and I do it purposely so that you guys could get it, and you guys can understand how stocks work. And so hopefully you guys could get this content, and understand a little bit of what I'm teaching. So as you can see, I mean, this thing is very cheap, very cheap. It started off at 125, $1.25, and this thing, look at the power of this stock overall in 3 days actually. This thing went up to, let's see, take this thing off. This thing went up to 115%, guys. 15%. You don't see no big stocks doing this in 3 days, guys. It's very, very hard. And this the reason why it's doing this is very basic, guys. It's basic, fundamental of supply and demand. Anybody that knows business and understands business, if you don't understand supply and demand, where if a company needs to increase their value and have money to buy more supplies, they need a lot of people to invest in their company, invest in their products, and that's pretty much what is called demand. If there's no action between buying and selling, then there's no possibility for that company to have funds to reinvest into their company, either to get more supply, and or do anything positive for their company. Okay, so what happens in supply and demand? Let's say there's very little supply and more demand, then the price has to go up to accommodate for that demand, and get more money to make more supply, and so if there's a lot of supply and a little bit of demand, then they have to go ahead and push the price down to attract more buyers, right? And do the same cycle all over again to try to boost the value of the company. So that's kind of the little summary of supply and demand. And just like I'm saying, there's a lot of different Hernandez 2787 says, "Look at you, bro." I know. I'm shocked. So anybody who doesn't know Hernandez 2787, he's pretty much the guy that gave me the spark on starting my journey as a streamer. So I think a lot for Hernandez to come and just give me the spark and be a good streamer. So anybody who loves games and a lot of healthy content of not only chatters, good chatters, um, you guys could go ahead and show support and hit the like, the share, and the follow on Hernandez 2787, guys. So go ahead, show support. He's a great guy, and yeah, let's go ahead and continue, guys. So just like I said, guys, these are the kind of stocks that you could, if you are very disciplined and you know what you're doing, you did your homework, you could do a lot of you know a lot of you could take this value right here and make a lot of money, you consistently if you're very disciplined. um I'm still shocked, guys. I don't know what to do. I'm shocked. 90 something followers, I mean, viewers. I mean, I don't even know what to say. But I appreciate the love and support. You know, thank you, guys. Make sure to hit the like, the share, and the follow, guys. So let's go ahead and continue, guys. So this was the stock that we were monitoring for 2 days already, right? And it did a pretty good move after this. After I marked this downtrending resistance, you know. So this thing went up, and did a pretty good move. I mean, overall, it did like 43%, 51%. So these are the kinds of moves you could learn. And so let's go ahead and jump to the, right now at this point, it won't be good to follow up on a continuation for a third day because it dropped half of its gains here, a little bit more than half of its gains. Hernandez 2787 said, "Thanks, brother. No problem, bro. This is what we do. This is the type of community that we have, and this is what we need. We need a healthy community. So if this is what you guys are looking for a community that helps each other out, not only through the chat but as well as jumping on any type of content creators that need help either through their viewer watch or helping them with their uh, with what they need, what Rumble needs in terms of their criteria and everything, then this is what we do. We help you with their chatter count, we help you with the viewer count. So if you guys are content creators out there, hit me up. I'll do my best to help you out with your stream and be part of your journey as well. So this is what we do. uh Rumble Boss says, "Thanks for the follow, Anthony Barnes for good. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you, I appreciate it." Sergeant Wilkie, yay, with the banana dance. I wish I had like a like a little video that everybody who comes in just I have something dancing. So probably someone in the future will do that. But I appreciate everyone who shows support. Thank you very much, guys. And so let's go ahead and continue, guys. So just like I said, this stock, it is very short term. I don't trade long term. This is very short term. Uh, Kind of how my mentality is when it comes to making money short term is kind of like the guy that you've seen before in commercials where the guy says, "I need my money now." That's that's the kind of guy that I am. Like I need the money now, and so this is the only way you could get like really really quick cash if you know what you're doing. You don't want to get into these type of stocks where you don't know how to trade, and you don't know your risks, and you don't know how to manage when you enter the stock, or when you don't have nothing for plan formulated. And so that's not good. So you have to do your due diligence and do your research, and eventually, once you learn everything, then you could go ahead and jump onto these and make good profits on a short term. Okay. Red Sister fan says, I need money then, now, and later. That's what I say. That's what I say. That's the kind of guy I am. I need it now. Like, I don't want to wait 20 years to get $10,000. If I could get $10,000 now, or 20,000 or 30,000, then I'm gonna do my best to get it now. And responsibly, and I have to be disciplined to do that. And so over time, this is not. I mean, this is not no get rich quick thing. This is it takes a lot of time to understand. It takes a lot of years to learn. uh but don't get afraid. Don't be afraid of what other people are saying. Do your best to kind of grasp bits and pieces from other type of creators that also do finance, and try to make your own criteria, try to make your own niche, and eventually you're gonna get better at what you do, either short term or long term. I'm not trying to bash nobody who does long term. Long term is great too, but you have to do your due diligence to become a great trader. you know so, or a great investor. And this is for any business, this is for anything. But in this case, guys, this thing went down, all of it. I don't see no opportunity of it recuperating. So this one, I'm gonna take it off the list, guys. And so let's go ahead and do that right now. And so all this right here, if you guys want to know a little bit more of what I have written down here, you guys could go ahead and hit once this stream is done, you guys could go ahead and go back on the stream, and I explain all this in detail, my criteria, what everything means at the end of the day. And yeah, I recommend anybody to take advantage of this, and grasp anything. If you guys have any questions, hit the chat. I also have my email. You guys could go ahead and hit me up privately. I'll do my best to show you guys the basics, and eventually you're gonna get better at this. So let's go ahead and continue. Rest is your fan showing. Also, another thing. Anybody who's listening to the music that I'm streaming with is part of Rest Sixers fan AI music. Really good music, awesome. Go ahead, show support over there on his channel, guys. Really good streamer as well. All his content is great. So if you guys need his information, on the description below, I have everything of him. Also, another one here, Sergeant Wilkie. He's an awesome content creator, guys. Go ahead, show support on his channel. Make sure you hit the like, the share, and the follow. Very awesome dude, very good guy. There's also a big amount of people that the content creators that are military veterans, guys. So if you guys support those who are the veterans that already did service for the country, go ahead, show some support, and help them out. Hernandez 2787, he's active duty, so I appreciate him for his service on the country. And yeah, this is what we do, this is what the community does. We help each other out, and yeah, go ahead, show support to them. And yeah, this is what we do. So let's go ahead and continue. So just like you see right here, I mean, I keep a note of everything, and this is kind of the key of everything. You have to keep a note of everything. And so as you can see right now, I'm gonna go ahead and do I'm gonna show you guys how to find stocks right now. So this is gonna be very interesting, as we have 58 viewers. So I appreciate you guys passing by and showing support. Let me go ahead and show you guys how to find stocks, guys. And these are low price stocks. So let's go ahead and start off. So there's many different softwares out there, many different websites that you could go ahead and use to screen for new stocks for whatever different type of strategies that you have on stocks. But this is what I use. This is what I'm going to use to help you guys out. And so the first thing you want to do is press screener, right? And you're gonna find this page right here, right? It's gonna show you 546 pages of stock right here. Restless fan says appreciate it. No problem, bro. This is what we do. This is what we do. And so yeah, guys, go ahead, show support to Red Sixer Fan AI Music, guys. Really good guy. And so in the market, guys, we have about 19,000 stocks out there. Okay, there's a lot more than 19,000. Too many stocks, right? Me, I'm not gonna go through 546 pages. I want to minimize the amount of stocks that I'm gonna analyze to make a decision whether to trade it or not. So the way you do that is through filtering based on your criteria, right? And so this right here is a little bit of option, right? You got a little bit of option to check, but yeah, if it's me, I want to see everything, And so you press all here, and now you have a big amount of option here to see, And so the next thing here is market cap. Based on my criteria, the first thing I would want to see is the market cap, right? And the market cap, the good thing about this web is that you could put your mouse, right? Hover your mouse to the market cap, and it's gonna give you the definition or short definition of what we're looking at here. So market is, the definition right here. It says total market value of the company of the company's outstanding shares. So pretty much in summary, is the total value of the company, the total value, what it's worth in the entirety. Okay, so it's what we call it in the market is market capitalization. Okay, and so there's different types of market caps out there. You got mega, which is 200 billion to either more of what the company's worth, and there's a list of it. I picked the smallest that there is available on this website, right, which is a micro cap, right? Anything under 300 million company value, that's what I focus on. And so I input it there. And so the next thing is price, guys. Price, I put around 1 to 20. This is my personal preference. Red Sister fan says I like bacon. Hey, I like bacon too. I just had a burger, a bacon cheeseburger, guys. So I love bacon. If I could eat bacon all day, I would. So I understand that. So price right here is over $1, right, and no more than $20. Why I would want to see stocks over $1, guys? Nasdaq has rules. They have regulations, right? And if a stock is under $1, that's already not good for the Nasdaq. And so they normally send a delisting notification, right, to these companies. If at a certain point of time they cannot raise the company's price per share, then the company gets delisted out of the market. Okay, and so that's the reason why I want to see stocks over $1. I don't want to get stuck in a process of a company getting delisted when I'm investing in a short time on these stocks. So that's the one reason why I want to keep I want to pay attention of stocks over $1. Now anything over $20 per share is it's not too expensive, but the spreads, if you guys this is another term, spreads. If you guys understand a little bit about spreads, you're gonna have a lot of gaps on what price you should buy the company, the shares of the stock. In other words, let's say you put in an order, right? The market maker is the one that's taking care of your order, is putting it in the system, and so based on the buying or the selling, they pretty much can see, based on what type of order you're putting in, and so if there's a large spread, of the price fluctuation of the stock, then you might get caught of buying shares at a higher price. That's kind of what the spread is. The distance between where the price is where the offer is, and where the on the buying side, and where the offer is on the selling side. So the distance between that, that's kind of what the spread is, at the end of the day. um just for like, let me give you an example. Let's say, uh you know asking price of, let's say that people want to sell it at let's say $1, right? And there's buyers that want to sell it at 50 cents, right? So the difference between the prices that you see, like 51 cents all the way to $1, right, which is 99 cents. That right there, that all those cents of distance between the 50 cents and $1, that's the spread. Okay. So that's kind of the little summary. Hopefully you guys understand what the spread is. But if you guys don't know, I mean, there's a lot of YouTubers out there that you guys could, go ahead and show support and understand a little bit more. You have Investopedia as well. I mean, you could get the definition of what a spread is. Red Sister fan says mayo spread. The spread. And so right here, guys, on this right here, on this option on the third column, we also want to focus, guys, on the relative value. Right, the relative volume, over here says ratio of the current value compared to 3 months of average. And so they kind of forgot to add average volume, because that's kind of what it is. It's the ratio of a calculation that they get using the current volume, right, versus the average volume over a period of time, right? In this case, it's 3 months, which is 90 days. Okay, so they use that to get the ratio, right? And so my preferred ratio is over 5. Okay. And so, as you can see here, guys, another option here, very important, is the industry. I don't focus on ETFs, which is the exchange traded fund. I don't focus on none of these industries. I only want to focus on stocks. You know, okay. And so, another option here is the performance. You wanna see a stock that is actively being traded, is moving up, is very positive. Rest Sister fan says bacon and mayo, just work some tomatoes in the convo. Yeah, man. All that works on a sandwich or anything, pretty much. And so, yeah, today's this is what we want to focus on, the performance. Today's up, right? Very simple criteria, guys. The next thing is the demand of the stock, which is the volume. The volume pretty much means the number of shares traded today, right, for whatever stock that you're looking at. And so right there, we're gonna go ahead and focus on anything over 1 million, guys. Okay. And so after this, why 1 million, guys? Because it's easy, on a selling and buying pressure, it's easy for me to get in, right? And I have no issue. If I see that the stock is going the opposite way, I could get out, no problem. I don't get stuck in the trade. I don't get stuck in no halts or nothing like that. It's very easy to trade. And so that's the reason why I want to see anything over 1 million. Okay. Then the last criteria that we're gonna go ahead and focus is the flow, and so the flow is the supply, of the stock. And so right here is give the definition of it is the number of shares for public trading doesn't include shares held by insiders, right? So there's two different types of shares that are used, that you can see overall. First of all, you have the outstanding shares, right, which is the total amount of shares that the company owns. And now out of that outstanding shares, there's some shares held by insiders, which is shareholders, CEOs, employees. So these type of shares are private. They don't get traded in the market. They're very, those are privately owned, and now there's some shares, whatever shares there is available, the company supplies out to the market to trade, and that's the float. Okay, that's considered the float. And so, very simple, anything under 10 million, that's kind of what I use, right? And so, this pretty much is everything in a nutshell, right? This is all my criteria, right? And so, when we scroll down, now you don't got 540 something pages. Now you have one page, right? And now you have six stocks to analyze. Okay. Me as a day trader, I don't focus on fundamental. I don't want to, I don't see the financials. I don't focus on none of that. I focus on price action, what supply and demand is, and the rest of the criteria that I've mentioned before. Okay. Um, Me as a day trader, I don't care what the company is named. I don't focus on that. I don't focus on what the sector is, what the industry is, or either what country it comes from. I don't want to watch none of this here, and so to make it a little bit more clear, I go ahead and press custom. Okay. And so on custom, I go ahead and you have the option to input and output these type of options here, which you can see here on the bottom. Okay. The numbers here, they're not going to help me whatsoever. I mean, you could count them here or see them here, and you got six total. So I don't need them there. So to make it a little bit more clean, I just take off the number. I take up the company name, the sector, the industry, the country, and the market cap and P ratio. Right? All these don't help me get to see the stocks here in these columns more clearly. Okay. Now, as you can see here, you can see more clear. What you're looking at. Right? You see the volume, the price. Now the percentage change, just like I said, is the market close already. We don't want to focus on the percentage change, so we'll take that off as well, right? The only two things we're gonna go ahead and add is the relative value, which is very important, and the float, which is the shares float, right? And so right here, as you can see, guys, these are the things that we're gonna go ahead and focus. Um, Now, before I continue, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and help Rumble, and other company, continue be on this platform. So to help them out, we're gonna go ahead and do a little small ad read. Hopefully, I don't mess the ad read, guys. So let's go ahead and do that really quick to help Rumble continue. So let's go ahead and move to the other screen. So I appreciate every single one of you guys coming here and showing support. So let's go ahead and jump into the ad. Let's see really quick. Bear with me, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and jump into the ad read really quick. Bear with me. There we go. Okay, let's grab this. Okay, so bear with me. I'm barely doing this in the first the first time. Okay, hopefully this is the right one. So, all right, guys. So, all right, let me tell you about my Valentine's Day sponsor, and honestly, this one is a no-brainer. Chicago State Company, code HEART 26. Look, you could fight for a reservation at some overpriced restaurant, sit there surrounded by strangers, rush through your meal, or you could stay home, cook together, and have a way better experience. These are USDA prime steaks, hand selected, wet aged up to 40 days. restaurant quality delivered to your door. Here's the deal. It's the last week for free Valentine's shipping. Order 199 or more. Use code HEART26 and you get $145 in free gifts. That's two Maryland crab cakes, 6 Italian chocolate pastries, and free shipping. So you've got appetizers, main course, dessert done. Go to mychicagostate.com/heart26, code heart26. That's the HEART 26. Link is in in the description. Okay, guys. So hopefully that works. And let's go ahead and go back to the all right. Brooke Blackburn, thank you for coming and showing support. Thank you very much. Go ahead, show support to Blackburn as well. She does a lot of good things. You know, she posts a lot of stuff on her channel as well. Red Sister fan says, "Are you playing music now?" Neurodivergent one says, "Good read, appreciate it, thank you." Yes, I'm playing the music right now. So let's go ahead and continue, guys. Hopefully, you guys could see what I'm seeing. You see really quick. Bear with me for a second. Let me see if you guys can see what I'm seeing. There we go. And the criteria here. Okay, let's go ahead and continue. So Brooke Blackburn says, "Thank you. I'll try to do good things." Hey, I'm not saying nothing negative. Just show support to Blackburn. Really good person. Go ahead, hit the like, the share, and the follow, guys. Go ahead, show support over there. Can you hear to hear the music? Okay. All right, let's go, guys. So, incredible. We have 15 likes, guys. That's awesome. That's awesome. And we had 144 followers. We're almost about to hit 150. If you guys love the stream, go ahead to hit the follow, hit the like and share. Or if you're in Rumble, go ahead and repost as well. This will help me, get myself out there. So I appreciate every single one of you guys that are coming by here and showing support. So let's go ahead and continue, guys. So just like they say, I mean, we already went through following here, doing our sorting, on our criteria, to find these, to scan stocks that we have today. And the first one right here, I mean, before we start, right, the first thing we want to do is sort out through volume from high to low, right? This is the way I do it. And I want to see anything that's trading the most for these type of for this day, for this time of day, right? And so right now we have three. In the morning they might have been a lot more opportunities, but when the market is closed, the ones that are running right now at this moment are these six stocks right here. Okay. And so SMX is the first one we're gonna look at. This thing is a little bit higher price. It's at $15.83 a share. Now, if you see the recent like the preview here, it had a recent it had a front end of the move, and we're gonna look at that right now. SMX. And so as you can see, I mean, if we go a little bit way back, right, a little bit, you're gonna see, I mean, this thing had a front end of the move, right, which is this. It had we call it a head and shoulders, right? It was a really small head and shoulders. This is the shoulder, this is the head, and this is another shoulder. After that, it cracked, and it didn't crack too much. It recovered pretty well. Over here, I mean, you had some little bit of moves here, a little opportunity, but after that, it just caved. It caved pretty bad. It's doing exactly. I mean, if you see Bitcoin, guys, which I'm gonna explain a little bit, I'm gonna show you guys what the head and shoulders look like a little bit. worse. Okay, and so it had a front end of the move. And this is this web right here, Trading View. This is what we use. I mean, I don't use it for my personal use. I use Weeble, but you guys could use this just to start. This is something, if you're learning, you're barely learning about stocks and learning trend lines and learning the charting, then, I would recommend you guys using something simple as Trading View. Now, there's a pro and there's a con, right? In Trading View. The pro is that it's free, right? And it has a lot of tools that you could use. Now, the con is that it's not, once you sign up, right? If you don't have a subscription with them, you don't get the price action, you don't get the the price fluctuation on real time. Everything is delayed, okay? Just like I said, I use only Weeble, right, for my charting, and I analyze everything on Weeble. Right now, I'm not showing you on Weeble because it's a little bit, there's a lot of things that you're not gonna understand. It's very, a little bit advanced, a little bit, because the way I have it set up is way more advanced, But this is very simple. It's good for you guys to understand. And so, Rest is for Fan says, got you, follow back so I can message it to you. Okay, okay, cool. This is for the ones, for Newer Divergent and Blackburn, Brooke Blackburn, I think. Uh Brooke Blackburn said, make sure you all crush the like, follow, and comment and repost. Appreciate it. Thank you for the promotion. I appreciate it. Thank you. And so let's go ahead and continue, guys. So today had a pretty awesome move. This right here, you could have capitalized. The way I would jump into this, right? I would go ahead and I use in order for me to mark resistance levels, guys, which you're gonna understand later on in the future. Resistance level is pretty much a point where uh buyers didn't want to sell at a higher price, so sellers took control and pushed the price down for a short period of time or for a long period of time. Okay, and so in this case, it's a short period of time. A pullback where sellers were in control, and so I use the highest point between this period, right? Either even if in pre-market, right, in this time, if I would see anything higher than these levels, then I'll mark the highest spot, and that right there would be my resistance level. Okay, and so, but in this case, this was the confirmation pullback that I was looking for, and this is the resistance level for this short period of time. So I go ahead and mark it, right? And so right here, there's two ways you could look at this, right? You could go ahead, you could trade either breakouts, which is you once the price goes over the resistance level, is considered a breakout. Now, there's many traders out there that would, would trade right at the breakout, or they will wait for some type of confirmation, either waiting for the candle to close above the the resistance level, or wait for a pullback bounce, right, and catch it on the bounce. After you could confirm the green candle at the bounce. So both ways are pretty good to understand. Um, Now you gotta understand your risk, how much you're risking. And so there's many ways you could, do your research on how much you should risk on a trade. There's many reasons, there's many ways that you could check on how to manage your money, while you're trading, and this is totally basically this is totally based on you at the end of the day, because you're the one that's investing your hard-earned money. So I can't tell you where to buy, where to sell, or how much money you should be putting in the market. That's kind of your homework at the end of the day. My job right here is pretty much to teach you on how, you know, price action works. How to find the stocks, and if I could teach you anything extra to help you in your journey, that's kind of what I would do. If you have any questions, you could send a message privately or through the chat. It's up to you guys. So there's many ways you could trade this. You could trade long. You could do long term. We call it long, going long, right? Which is buying low and selling high. Or you could short. Now shorting is a little bit more complicated, more complex, and the reason why I say that is because you first of all you gotta borrow shares from the broker, right? And sometimes these stocks don't have borrowing. You know, they're first of all they're borrowing. They have there's fees to borrow, right? First of all, second, sometimes these stocks don't have borrowing share. They don't have shares to borrow, right? There's another bad reason, which is, let's say, you borrow shares from the broker, you have to pay them back eventually, right? So the more days that you wait, the more they accumulate the fees to return those shares back, which is quote unquote interest. Okay, it's kind of like getting borrowing from a bank. Okay, and so if you don't pay them back, then it's like the collection company. I mean, they're gonna keep bothering you until you pay them back what you owe. And so that would affect your credit, guys. Okay, if you're irresponsible in that matter. Another bad thing, if you're borrowing shares from a broker and let's say the price going against you, right, at a certain point, there's no limit, guys, on how much you could lose. Okay, there's no limit. Okay, so you have to be careful. You have to learn how that works. Okay, uh, shorting could you could short at any stock. You could short any. Well, there's other stocks that are hard to borrow, but you got people, you got billionaires that short, at higher, way bigger companies out there. So shorting is all over the place. You just got to learn how to use the short, how to use that strategy, how to use it, how to understand shorts and how to use it at the end of the day. Okay. And so those are the two different ways you could trade, going long or shorting, right? And so shorting, you're pretty much betting against the price, right? Now all these stocks here, guys, all the stocks that I'm showing you here on this list right here, all these stocks, the majority of them are failing companies. It's very rare for all these companies to have success on the long run, because they have either financial issues, they don't have good managers in the company, you know, um, there's many things behind it, of these companies that are not gonna make them succeed in the end. Okay. However, they still in the market, they're still accumulating money, either for the company for the benefit of the company or whoever that's owning the company as well. There's many things that the owner could do, whoever that's managing the company. Okay, there's many things that they could do. They could either liquidate the company and get that revenue and invest in another company, or create another company. I mean, there's many things, but you don't want to focus. I mean, if you're trading like I am trading, which is day trading, you don't want to go ahead and focus too much on the fundamentals, because these stocks right here, guys, these stocks move very fast. Just like you see here, this thing, it took to get from this point to this point, it only took an hour, guys. If you're spending an hour and 20 minutes or more checking the fundamentals, checking if this stock is doing good, with the money, does it has good cash flow, or who's the owner of the company and all that, blah blah blah. By the time you're done doing all your analysis, when you go back to this company, your opportunity to trade it's already gone, guys, because this thing, it moves very fast. Okay, so if you're day trading like I am, you wanna you don't wanna you only want to focus on small key things that is gonna make you make a decision very quick, and focus more on the trend of the stock at a specific time. Okay. And so in this case, I already run down all the criteria that I focus on, right? And when I look at the stock, right, like we're watching here, I'm focusing on the first one. The first thing I want to see, right, if the market is closed, I want to see, you know, since I already screened it, right? I already know that it has a low flow. You know, it has 8 million. I already know that it has a high relative volume, over 5 ratio. I already know it has a demand, which is 39 million. You know, now the what I want to see is why did it move? You know, and to know that, you got to look at the news, right? And right here, um, 8 hours ago, it says SMX extends capital runaway into 2028. ELOC agreement increased to 250 million. Okay, so they got an ELOC agreement of this company of 250 million. Okay, so that's really positive. What they could do with that money, they could either invest in the company itself, you know, or they could go ahead buy off shares that they have out there in the market to to have a lower float, even lower float to attract more demand if the demand shows up. I mean, there's many things they can either acquire another company, another smaller company, and take their profits to either reinvest into both companies at the same time. I mean, there's many ways. There's different ways they could use that money. That's a lot of money, for us. But for the market, you know, um, it's not too much. It's not nothing significant. Now, billions of dollars and trillions of dollars, that's money. That's a lot of money there. But 250 million, that's pretty decent, be decent amount of money. And so that's good news. So now we have news, right? And we would check the price, right? The price is at $15.90. It's not over 20. So that's good news, right? That's another good news there. Carmen Ríos, Boricua, huepa, huepa. Gracias por venir. So also, guys, anybody who's looking at the stream, guys, we do English, Spanish. I mean, we speak both languages, so don't feel afraid of chatting if you don't know English or anything like that. I'll do my best to help you out and be active talking to you. So um, uh, gracias, Carmen, por venir acá y apoyar. So let's go ahead and continue, guys. This thing, as we could see the trend, right? Anybody who's looking at this is a price action, right? That it went from $8.50, as it went as high as 20 something dollars, and to be specific, high of $20.26, right? But it closed today at $15.83. So it's around those ranges. That's price action of the stock. Now, for those that are new, right, that doesn't know what these green things are, what these red things are, right? These are candlesticks, right? I'm doing my analysis, guys. I use Japanese candlesticks. So this is another term. If you don't know what is a Japanese candlestick, write it down. Do your research. There's plenty of people that would explain Japanese candlesticks. Very basic to understand in the charts, guys. These candles is at this certain point. These are 5 minute time frame candles right here. So all these candles are 5 minutes, right? 5, 10 minutes. You know, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 25 minutes. All that's how the flow of these prices are moving in 5 minute increments. Okay. And so I already explained what pre-market is, pre-market hours, what intraday hours is, which is 9:30 to 4 o'clock p.m., right? I already explained what after hours is, which is 4 o'clock to 8 o'clock, And so this data right here, intraday data, you know, is pretty much is going on this time frame, is going five, just like I said, 5 minute increments. And so at this point in these 15 minutes, right, the buyers were in control, right? That's why you see the green here, right? And in one candle here, as you can see in this one candle, the way we read this candle, right, at this point right here, once this candle ended this period of 5 minutes, this period entered at below the body. This is a body where you see a lot of green in a box, when you see like a green box, that's called a body, right? And so for green candles, the way it starts over here at the bottom, at the end of the body, right here. It opened at 8.51, right? $8.51, right? And so there was a lot of fluctuation, way more buying than selling, right? At this little time frame, in these 5 minutes, there was a lot of buying and selling, more buying than selling, and then it ended those 5 minutes up here at 909, $9.09. And so right after the 5 minutes, this other candle started right here below at $9.04. And it went, there was a lot. This one again, this thing was, buying and selling, and at the end of the 5 minutes, this thing ended up at 997. Okay, and so that's kind of how everything rolls. And right here you can see the red candle, and this right here is showing you that the sellers were in control in this time frame. Right when there he is. Appreciate it. Thank you for the American flag. Appreciate it very much for showing by. Rywin is also another good content creator. Go ahead, show support to Rywin. Also, Carmen Rios is also a content creator. I don't know if I let you guys know as well. Carmen Rios also do really good content as well. So go ahead, show support over there as well. This is kind of what we do, guys. We show support to the community. And so let me go ahead and show you guys how this works again. So these three candles is pretty much telling me that the sellers were in control in this period of 15 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Okay. And so the way one of these red candles work, right? It starts off, over here in this green candle, it start off at this bottom body, right? It started from the bottom of the body. Now for the red candle, it starts at the opposite side, at the top of the body. Okay, and so this thing opened at 1193, somewhere up here. Okay, 1193. So there was a lot of buying and selling, a lot of buying and selling. This thing went all the way up to 1312, right? It went all the way to 1312, and then there was so many sellers that put the pressure down all the way again down to this point right here where it closed. you know and it went as low as it went as low as 1088, but then it pushed the price up and it closed right here after the 5 minutes at 1161. And so after the 5 minutes, guys, then it jumped into the other red candle. Okay, Savio, what's up? Appreciate it for coming by and showing support. Savio as well as another content creator, guys. Another good content creator going up. I think he already is near 200 followers. So if you guys could go ahead and go to his channel, go ahead, show support, hit the like, the share, and the follow, guys. I would appreciate if you guys do that. Another content creator. This is what we do. This is what the Rumble community does. We help each other out. So let's go ahead and do that. If you're new and you like what you see, also hit the like, share, and follow, guys. Okay, and so that's how the candles work, right? And so based on certain patterns that I see, I kind of formulate a plan, right? Just like I showed you guys a couple minutes ago, I formulate a plan to enter and exit, right? And so I also have an exit plan as well. On top of that, if let's say the price goes against me, I have a certain percentage where if the price hits those levels, I'm out. I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose more than what I win, in terms of profit percentage. Okay. Let's say I lose a couple, like 2 times, right? And let's say the percentage is, for each one of them is 2%. That for those two is 4% in total. However, in one day I make 10% or 15%. That's way more profit percentage than the 2 losses that I have. So that's kind of the example of how I want to look at these, how I want to execute in the stock trading. Okay. And so this is kind of what we got, and so based on trend lines, based on trend lines, based on patterns, I can make a plan to execute, in these type of stocks, right? So in this case, right, the way I would look at this, right, I would want, me, I specialize on breakouts, and I could also execute on bounces off the support level, and so you have resistance levels, right, which is this right here, this yellow line, right? And resistance levels not is not only based on one line, one specific area, right? Resistance is based on channels of sellers that are holding the price. They either have pending orders at a higher price where buyers don't want to sell at buyers don't want to buy those amount of shares at that price, at their higher price, and so sellers take advantage and they push the price down, and so sometimes you have weak sellers, and so buyers take advantage and they push the price up over these resistance levels, which is this is what you see, right? And so how everything works is that once this breakout happens, this resistance level, it becomes a support level, right? And the support level is the opposite of a resistance level, where instead of having sellers holding the price down, there's buyers holding the price up, right? And sellers don't want to they don't want to sell at those lower levels because it's too cheap, you know. And so buyers take advantage. They have pending orders there, and some of their orders get executed at those lower levels, and that's why you see the push of the pressure of the buyers taking a hold of this time frame here, of this timeline. And so right here, I would take advantage, you know, on the bounce. It seems like a better move for me. Um, right here, right after breakout, you know, right after the first test of the support level, it just took off again, and this move right here from this green candle, let's say you get it from this green candle, this thing went all the way to 33%, guys. I don't think some of you guys understand what 33% is. Um, a lot of big companies out there that are worth $1 billion, guys, or more, hundreds of billions of dollars, or even trillions of dollars. It's it takes them years, guys, to make 33%. It takes them years or even months to make 33%. And this thing made 33% in 20 minutes. That's the power of these stocks, guys. Sabio says, is this different from crypto or is the same concept? Yes, I use the same concept for crypto. Now, well, I mean, there's many differences, but the crypto, it's a little bit complex in terms of execute, getting in the on the crypto, starting to trade it, because first of all, you got to switch, you got to swap your money, right, in the specific coins that you need to get in the crypto, right? Let's say um a certain crypto that you're looking at, it only requires Bitcoin in order to buy coins of the crypto, right? In order to acquire it, acquire a certain amount of coins that you're trying to get, at a whatever amount of money that you're trying to get. um, then you have to, first of all, you have to swap your cash, right, to Bitcoin, and after that, then you could go ahead and buy, and if you're using a not a recognizable exchange, then it will take you like 20 minutes, 30 minutes for that process to get, for your money to get confirmed. And it takes a lot of time, and if you're looking at really small cryptos where their volatility is very fast, just like stocks, then you probably miss your opportunity. And so that's why you have to be careful what type of platform you're using in terms of trading crypto. It has to be very fast, and you have to use a reliable exchange in order to trade crypto. Okay, but it's not hard. I use the same concepts. Now when I'm explaining crypto, guys, I don't explain it in the matter of checking supply and demand, checking the news. I mean, that right there will take me another couple hours to explain, and so I don't want to like overwhelm you guys. So but I always suggest you guys to do your due diligence every single time that you're looking at crypto, to check the news, check who the owners of the crypto company is, check it, check if the supply is legit, what kind of markets are these cryptos are trading at, what kind of exchanges are they using, and seeing the legitimacy of the crypto, because there's a lot of scammers out there with a lot of cryptos that they brought out to the market. And there's a lot of nefarious intents, to take money out of you and pretty much screw you at the end of the day. Excuse my language, but yeah, you got to be careful, do your research. So but the concepts of looking at trend lines, I use the same thing for crypto. Okay. And so with this one, with the SMX, right? That's kind of how I would, take advantage of these. I would get either I would look for the breakout, or I would look for the bounce off of these levels, And so, let's say you missed this whole move, right? Let's say you missed the entire move, this whole entire move. No problem, guys. Wait for the pullback, and it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to hit the line. We all know that this this area right here, this little area, is part of the support level, the support level, right? And if it has a lot of buyers here stacked up together with this price, we know for sure the sellers don't want to sell at this price, so the buyers are going to take advantage and take control, and so as you can see here, that's kind of what happened. Once it hit these levels of support, it just bounced, it took off again, you know and right here you could have took advantage. You could have waited for this one to close green and get on this next candle, and this thing went up all the way to 40%. So right here, guys, you have 33% profit. Let's say you got in again to another 40%. How much is that, guys? 50, 60, 70, probably 80, a little bit, almost 80%, guys. There's no company out there, guys, in less than 2 hours that will make 80%. Now I'm not saying companies in general. I'm not talking about in general. I'm saying like companies, like big companies that a lot of people take. It takes a lot of years for you to get your return of investment that you want to get back. Um, it takes a long time. So this is very short period, very quick money. Now you have to understand how much money you want to go ahead and trade, and so there's different ways to do that. A lot of people don't know how much shares they should trade. And it's okay. Everything depends on what is your tolerance. How much are you willing to lose if the stock is going the opposite way? How much are you willing to lose? Are you willing to lose 2% only of the entire amount of money that you're putting in the stock, or you're willing to lose 2%, 1%, less than that? And you also have to have a goal percentage that you want to make. Because if you're only looking for 100%, and so let's say you're looking for more than 100%, and let's say this thing only move 20%, then you're still holding the company and you're waiting for it to hit exactly 100%, then you might not get what you're looking for. That's why you gotta stick to reality and pick something that you could grasp. Right now in this case, 20, 5% all the way to 20% is more real. You could grasp that. It's more that's more real. At the end of the day, it's more legitimate. You could see more 5% and 20%, way more than 100% on a move. Okay. And so if you make 5 to 20% every day, 5 days a week, all the way to the end of the year, that right there is a lot of percentage. And so if you go ahead and let's say you make a career out of trading, and you make 10,000% at the end of the year, or 20,000%, that's that's the goal right there. At the end of the day, you might talk to an investor that has been doing it for 20 years, and they ask you, hey, how much you made, how much percentage, profit percentage you made at the end of the year, and you tell them you made 10,000%. They're gonna laugh in your face, because you know in their reality, for investing, right, on big companies, is normally 2 to 5%. And if let's say you're investing on the S&P 500, right, which is a big ETF, you normally get 7%, 10% max, around those ranges. People that invest long term, they don't think 100%, or 10,000%. That's too high for their mind to grasp. And it's not bad, guys. It's not bad that you have that mentality. It's just, this is a different option that you have, you know that is possible for you to make, at a if you keep yourself disciplined and consistent. But it's not for everyone. It's not for everyone. If you look at the data, if you look at the research, guys, 95% of people, the majority of people who does day trading or any type of trading, guys, they lose. Okay, almost 95%. That's a great majority, right? And so why that happens? Lack of discipline, guys. Lack of discipline, lack of knowing how much they should put in the market, how much profit goal they should be looking at, not only on a daily basis, on a weekly, monthly, or yearly basis. And if you don't know how to manage your money when you're trading, then I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. You're pretty much throwing to the fences to see if anything sticks. And so that's not the right way. And so if you want to be consistent and you want to make a good amount of money, either for vacation, anything short term, then you have to go ahead and be disciplined, and you have to know your numbers. Know your what I meant by that, by knowing your numbers. You got to know how much you want to put in the market, how much you want to get out of the market, and how long you want to be trading, over 5 days, 10 days, weeks, months. You got to know your numbers. It's the same thing as what companies know their numbers. People who have companies, they know how much they want to make at the end of the year. You know, they have their goals, and they even write it on a paper every morning. This is how much I want to make. This is what I'm planning. And you have to have a structure. You have to have a plan, and you have to have rules too. And if you don't have none of that together, then you're not gonna have success. And so I know I'm talking a lot, but I rather say this to help you prevent you losing money than just telling some fancy things that you guys could go ahead and start off, and then you're pretty much trading blind. And that's not the point of making these streams every day. Okay, the point of making these streams is to help you, to guide you, and make you self-sufficient at the end of the day. Okay, so I know I spent a little bit of time explaining this one, but just as a summary, guys, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna add this to our watch list, because this thing ran and it never gave back more than half of its gains. What? Why that's happening? I mean, we already know the news, right? Which is those $250 million that they got on their what do you call that? Their ELOC agreement right now. So they have $250 million to spend. You know, that right there is private. We don't need to know why they want to use that. That's too. Uh, what we want to focus is price action, supply and demand. Okay, that's all we want to focus on. We want to focus on where this thing is gonna go next, and we want to formulate a plan, and to for entry. And if the thing doesn't go our way, then it's over with. There's no need to keep watching it if it's not actively trading. So let's go ahead and continue. So this thing had 39 million volume, guys. uh pretty good volume, way more than the average, right? Which is, the difference between this, the ratio between this is a relative volume of, right now, as you can see on the Finviz, it has a relative volume of 17. Okay. So that calculation was pretty good. And, also the float was very low, which is the supply. So there's more demand than the supply. And that's why you see this reaction. And it reacted based on good news, you know. And so those are the things that we're looking for in our criteria. And this thing was its value was very low. That's why it went all the way to 137 million. It's still a low market cap, so that's pretty good. And the price is still low. It's not as high as $20 per more than $20 per share. Sometimes you will see stocks that are more than $20 per share, but you have to be careful because the spreads are a little bit too wild. They're very spread out, and you might not get in a good price. If you're trying to buy shares or sell shares. And so yeah, those are the two opportunities there that you could have took. This is the high of day. That's another term that you should know. A high of day, which means the highest point of the entire trading day that this stock went, right? And so this right here, it's a pullback as well as a short-term pullback. I won't mark it because it doesn't have a confirmation pullback. And what I mean by a confirmation pullback, I mean if it has a bunch of red candles together, more than two, I would call it a confirmation pullback. And so these are two confirmation pullbacks. And also it has to look like it has to have a space, in between this triangle looking like here, just like this one, together with those two candles together, with those red candles together. So in this case, this one had a mini triangle here, was pretty good. And this one had another one. This one had one, but it didn't have the confirmation pullback that I'm looking for, which is these red candles together, So I marked those two lines. Those are the two levels that price, you see some price fluctuation. And, right now is bouncing off this line here, this red line. And so this red line right here, in other words, is called a VWAP, right? It's an indicator. And I use this only as a guide, right? I don't use it as in terms of making decisions to buy or sell. This is only a guide showing me if there's interest in this stock, using price and volume. Okay. The way this lines show up is they use averages of price and volume over a period of time to make this line possible to show up here. Okay. But the only bad thing about this line is that it's delayed, just like every other indicator is delayed. Okay. That's why I say, you don't want to make decisions based on this line. Okay. This is only showing me how interested people are in this stock, in terms of volume and price. Okay. So this thing is still hovering around VWAP. And so my plan would be for it to reclaim VWAP, right? Get above the VWAP level and test the high of day. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to do a watch list, very short watch list. And right here, it's not February 4, it's February 6. So we're going to go ahead and fix that. You want to track the time and date. And so right here, we got 611. And let's go ahead and write the first stock, which is MSX, which had a really good day, guys. So I appreciate every single one of you guys that show up, show support. Without you guys, this won't be possible. Where I have, at this point, I have 42 followers, 42 viewers, which is amazing. I'm still shocked to write it. At one point there was 143 viewers, guys. That's amazing. I'm shocked. And so I'm very grateful that this happened. Very thankful. I'm still shocked to this day. I appreciate America's Untold Stories for rating the stream. So just in case if those who don't know America's Untold Stories. Go ahead, go to their chat, go to his channel. He does very good content, guys. Um, he talks about politics, so anybody who's interested in knowing politics, go ahead and show support over there at America's Untold Stories, guys. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue. So let me go ahead and see where we at right now. Okay, everything's working, and let's go back to the trend. So just like I said, on the document that I have on the right, we're gonna write our watch list, guys. And so we write the ticker symbol, which is the company's short name, SMX, right? The first thing we want to do is we want to write everything that's fitting our criteria, right? And the way this is the way I write it. Many people do their watch list a different way. This is really simple for me to write. You know, it's I could do it very quick. It only, it doesn't take me too long. And so, um Logjam 11 say you have a good delivery style, no flash, just facts. Appreciate it. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the nice comment. Thank you. Go ahead, show support to Logjam 11, guys. He has a little bit of followers there with him. Go ahead, show support. That's part of my gratitude to you for commenting and showing support over here. So let's go ahead and continue, guys. So this right here, let me go to the so this is, just like I said, what you see on the right side is my document. And I have on this document, I have my criteria. I have filled criterias for crypto and stocks. I also have tips on how to find news for Twitter and X. So if you guys go back to on my stream, once my stream is ended, you guys could go back and I explain everything that's on this list. Okay. At this moment, we're doing a watch list, right? And so we're writing the ticker symbol. Right? And I want to write what fits, what this stock fits on my criteria, on every criteria that I use, right? So first thing is the price. Right now it's at $15.90. It's still cheap. It's still under my criteria. So I put here good price. Next thing is the demand. I want to see the demand. If it's over 1 million, this thing is way over 1 million, which is 39 million of volume. That's kind of what I want to see. So I put here good volume. I keep it very simple, guys. I don't complicate too much and just writing a whole paragraph of a lot of information. I want to keep it very simple, very fast, so that once I'm done writing the watch list, I could get back on the stock. And if it's pre-market or market open, then I go ahead and make a plan to execute in the stock, to get some to possibly get some profits. Okay, so I don't put that in bold. I don't want to get confused with the information. And so I check the demand, and so that's pretty good demand. And so the next thing I want to do, my wife making fun jokes. So the next thing is the supply, right? I want to check the supply, which is the float. It's a low float right now. It has 8 million float. So I put here low float. And so right now I have 3 out of all the criteria that I have mentioned. The next thing I want to see is the news, which we already checked. We already checked that it had a HELOC. It had a $250 million HELOC. So I put here good news. Good news. I just keep it very simple. And I put HELOC. Let's put $250 million HELOC. HELOC. Okay, and so that's pretty much it. And then I want to go ahead and check the daily. As we checked already the daily, right? The daily overall is not a good stock overall. This is no stock to go ahead and put all your money there on the long term. This is not a stock to do that. This is very short term. This thing is, the prices that this thing went up is not 10, 20 million. As you see here, these numbers are not real. This stock didn't went these prices, okay? The reason why you see this is because this stock had a lot of splits. This thing had 1 to 75 splits. I mean, 2 to 57 split. I mean, it had 10 to 41 split, 1 to 7 split. I mean, all these splits. I mean, and that's why you see this exaggerating amount here on this side. So never focus on this when these stocks have splits, okay? Because you'll get confused. So overall, this stock is no good. The only important things I want to focus is I want to see if this thing had ran before, okay? I don't care if it's a spike or it ran 1 or 2 days or 5 days. As long as it ran, that's all I care about, okay? This thing had a spike, a really nice spike here. It could have been a 50% spike or 20% spike. As long as it had a spike or it had ran for a couple days, like this one right here, it ran 6 days and then it had a good spike. That's all I care about. I don't want to see a stock that had only red completely. It's red, 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 no greens. Okay, that's what I don't want to see. Okay, at least it had a couple days of running. It had a couple days of spikes, so that gives me the confidence that it did had a period of time that it ran. And um, just like I say, these type of stocks, they repeat themselves sometimes. SMX, I haven't seen it. I've never seen it trade back in the day, but there's other stocks out there that I remember because I've traded them. Every year they show up. It's stocks that show up, and they show up either with the same move, the same pattern, and so these stocks repeat. And so those are the key things that you want to pay attention of. And so this thing had this thing had a move a long time ago, a 8,000% move. So, well, I don't know if the percentages are real because this is not real. But it did had a pretty good move. We could see here that it ran. So we know that it has history of running. Okay, that's the most important thing. And so this could be the front end of the move, and this is just it's just sticking his head up. Most likely because all these people that shorted the stock, they're now covering here. And so this thing has a little bit of life, and also the news is what makes these make buyers and investors invest in the stock as well. And so I look at the daily. I know that it has history of running, and so that's where I'm going back. I'm going back to the document, and I'm going to write here that it has history of running. So has history of running, overall trend is no good. And so that clarifies everything. Very simple writing. And so after that, the next thing I want to check is, I want to formulate a plan, right? We already said that, this thing had a good run. It closed pretty decent near the highs. And now all we want to see is for the price to be above the VWAP level, right? And this is going to put more interest in the stock. And then this I want to see this testing these highs here at 2026, okay, at $20.26. So that's what we're gonna go ahead and write. Want it, or you could put looking for price to reclaim VWAP and test high of day at, and then you put the price that you're looking at, which is $20.26, 60 cents. And that's pretty much it, guys. That's the way you write you write here on your watch list the stock that you're looking at. Very simple. It's not a big paragraph. It's very simple. This thing, you could do this in less than 5 minutes, when you wake up early in the morning on pre-market. And this is pretty much it. Rumblebot says thanks for the follow, Don Limitless. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it very much. I hope you enjoy the stream. And yeah, we're almost done, guys, on the stocks. We got a couple more to look at, and then we're gonna jump into crypto, guys. Hopefully it doesn't take me too long. But I appreciate every single one of you guys hopping by and showing love and support. Remember, I have a lot of platforms there. Probably the only ones that are not active is TikTok because I'm still learning how to make that work. And so I have that one, and also I have uh where's the other one? I forgot the name. Everything is in my description at the end of the day. So hopefully you guys could go ahead and show support on YouTube, Twitch, and everything. Okay. Log Jam 11 says I came in from America's Untold Stories raid, but this young man is good. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you for the love and support. Go ahead, show support to Logjam 11, guys, and also to America's Untold Stories. This guy is, he was the one that rated the stream. I appreciate, he rated with 143 viewers. Awesome guy, excellent. I can't wait to see his stuff. So, yeah, go ahead and show support over there. And yeah, let's go ahead and continue, guys. So, that's how you formulate a watch list on a stock. Very simple. It doesn't take too long. Fold up. Thank you for coming by and thank you for showing up. Fold up is another content creator, awesome guy, very good at his content. I love all his stuff. Go ahead, show support to Fold up. Appreciate you coming by. Don't limit this. Say, bro, watching you on Kick and just downloaded Rumble for you. G. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah. So if you're since you're watching on Kick, you could go ahead and let me send you a just in case if you guys are looking in other platforms. Let me go ahead and send you guys a link to register with Rumble. Sorry about that. I kind of went around my words. Let me see if I could grab. Bear with me for a second, guys. Let me grab a link really quick to just in case if anybody that's looking on other platforms. So this is a referral link, guys. So anybody that's looking on other platforms, guys, here's a referral link that you guys could go ahead and click that referral link and sign up with Rumble through me. I would appreciate it very much. So referral link, sign up. Okay. So there you go. You got the referral link. Don Limitless says amazing stuff. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Yeah, guys. This is what I do. I do stocks and crypto. My strong is stocks. This is what I've been doing for over 10 plus years. I started when I was 18 looking at stocks and I fell in love with it, and I've been studying this, for a long time. If you go ahead and go to my Discord where the resources section is, you will not the resources section, but the book list. All those books that you see listed there, I read all of them. I read through all of them to understand how stocks works, how candlesticks work, how price action works and everything, how supply and demand works. I mean everything that you want to know about stocks. I would recommend you guys, if you guys like reading books, go ahead and check my Discord, guys. Now I don't have nobody like following me on Discord. It's okay. That's not the reason why I want to have it open. I want you guys to use it as a library, guys. To get you guys could get in there, grab whatever information that you need on either the resources section and the book list. And so on those two areas, I mean, you guys gonna need whatever information that you need. You for sure will find it in those areas, guys. I don't charge nobody anything. Everything is for free. The same thing with this stream. Everything is free information for you guys. So I hope you guys love it. And yeah, guys, just enjoy it. Hopefully I can see you guys in the future. And yeah, let's go ahead and continue. So let's talk about the watch list. So let's check the other stock that we have listed. So we already formulated a plan for SMX, and now we're gonna go ahead and check the other one, which is WHLR. On the preview, it seemed like it didn't have a good end, but we're gonna look at it. We're gonna look at it anyways. So WHLR. Bear with me for a second, guys. Let me go ahead and okay, there we go. So I could read the chat. I was a little blind there. Okay. All right. You guys can see what I'm seeing, and hopefully you guys can see also the chart. Okay. All right. So let's go back to writing WHLR. WHLR. And as you can see, guys, here, I was not too much interested in it. It did had a pretty decent volume, 27 million compared to the average. The average is 1 million, so it had a pretty decent ratio, of relative volume. Now the float is very low as well. 694,000. We asked for anything that I'm looking at is any that I would like to see on float is anything under 10 million, but when it hits under 1 million, that's a very very low float. And when with stocks like this that are very volatile, it's a great thing to see, especially when it has a lot of demand. Now this right here, it ran on after hours yesterday. So the way I would see this is I would wait for a confirmation pullback, which I'm seeing here, two red candles, and I would mark the high day, which is this is the high day of the entire day of yesterday, right? And that will be my resistance level, right? Now this thing, it tried to test the high but failed, and this right here was first test right here. If you look at the smaller time frames, it probably tested a lot more times, but on the 5 minute time frame, it only shows that it tested once here. So I mean, you could put the high at that point, but I won't focus too much on that line to be the only resistance line. This bottom one is more significant. And so, I mean, we only saw one opportunity here, a very small one. Probably most likely didn't had a lot of percentage in it, but 4%, guys, is still good. It's not bad. You could have took a little change there. It went all the way up to 7%. However, this red candle kind of spooked a lot of buyers that bought between these candles, and that's why you see a little flush here on this other smaller candle, which was a weak green candle. And these are the first signs that the price is not holding well, and that's why you see this other pushback here. You know, and so but you still had opportunity, 5 to 7%. That's not bad overall. If you could consistently make 5%, you know, till the end of the year, every day, then you can make a good amount of money, at the long run. You don't have to swing for the fences for to look for 100% every single day, because you most likely not gonna get all 100% of every time for every stock 100%. You only want to get a little amount, a little bit of amount. Now sometimes you're lucky and you catch it at the right spot, and it goes 50, 60%. Sometimes you're lucky like that. But you know if you want to be consistent, guys, taking little bits and pieces, that's enough, guys. And so but in this case, guys, right here, as you can see, I mean, it dropped a little bit, and it had a pretty good move here. Hold on a second, guys. Wait for a minute. Let me go ahead and help my wife really quick with something really quick. I'll be right back. Let me put the be right back button here. Alrighty, I'm back. I'm back. Thank you guys for waiting. It was very quick. So, yes, let's go ahead and continue, guys. I keep everything very simple. I don't complicate myself. This thing didn't hold much. It got below the VWAP, and so it no longer became interesting, and that's why you see the amount of volume traded in this moment was not much. It lost interest, and so there was at this point there was not a lot of demand, and it just continued dropping. So this thing for a continuation, for it to test the high day here again, it's gonna be very tough. So yeah, this thing is no longer in my list. I won't have it in my list of the watch list. So yeah, this one is a negative for me. But I leave these lines here. That's the good thing about having trading view, that you could leave these lines here, and let's say if it shows up again at another time, you can know that you already look at this one. So that was pretty good. And let's go ahead and check again another stock, which is GZXN. Now before we continue to the next stock, let me see if this thing had some type of news here. Um, the most recent one was in November 12th on this platform, but I would like to see what sparked that little move there. Okay, very key to understand. January 15, it said here Harper Sadeth LLC encouraged Wheeler's Real Estate Investment Trust. So let's see a little bit more. Okay, so encourages Wheeler Real Estate Investment Trust shareholders to contact the firm to discuss their rights. Okay, so there's a little bit of information. I mean, we don't want to go too much in detail. I think the headline gave a little bit information. There. Now the news is not too significant to attract more investors. This is kind of a reminder to dedicated for shareholders to dive into, not for people like me, traders. So um this one, that's why you see the price action. I mean, the type of you know how the stock reacted. It didn't react in a great way compared to the news that it showed, and so that's why you see there not much interest in it. So that's pretty much for that one. And let's go ahead and hop into JZXN. JZXN. So I appreciate everyone who came by and showed support. Don't forget to hit the like, the share, and the follow, guys. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Thank you. If anybody has questions, don't forget to hit me in the chat, or if you want to hit me privately through the emails or anything like that, you guys could do that as also. Okay. So let's go ahead and continue. And let's see this one. So it had a pretty decent move. Now volume is a little bit lower, which is 11 million, but it's still easily to trade. You wouldn't have that much problems trading it compared to the average. I mean, it's way higher. The average has 938,000, so it's a lot more volume than the average. And compared to the float as well, it had rotated the float like 10 times, so that's pretty good. you know Float rotation is another term that you guys, excuse me, that you guys should learn as well. Float rotation. And so if you divide the volume, which is the demand, versus the float, it's gonna give you the amount of times the 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 float got rotated. Okay. And so that's another good thing to know as well. Without the float rotation, you couldn't see these type of moves. Okay. So that's another thing. So it has a pretty good information here to see. Now we want to see also why this thing ran, and so you go ahead and check the news. Sometimes in this platform it doesn't give you like the most recent news. Sometimes it's delayed. So it says here that three days ago, this Jisoo Holdings further depends cooperation with Xinhui Solar So this is kind of like an Asian company. So on the 27, it received 90 million investment from Morgan International Finance at $3 per share to boost blockchain and Web3 initiatives. So this is a pretty significant news, but it was in December 27, a couple weeks ago. Okay, so that was pretty good. Maybe these guys got in. Uh, the investors here got attracted by that type of news. Now we want to see if it did had more recent news. So yesterday, it says here, let me see if this pertains to the, yeah, it does pertains to the company. So it says here, multiple crypto strategic investments institutions commit 40 million in assets to Jinsui Holdings at price not lower than $1.50 per share, with the transaction to be completed within 2 weeks. That this is really good news. So you got these investors investing $40 million to this holding company. Okay, so that's pretty good news. That's what you want to see, and this is the price reaction that you see out of the situation here, out of this trend, out of this whole charting system here. And so the way I will look at this, I will see which one is the recent high day out of this entire move, and you know if you pick today, I mean, this day was not too significant. I mean, in the daily chart you can see it had history of running, which is good to see. Now it had a bunch of splits as well, which is not good for the company overall. They just trying to keep their head above the water. That's why you see all these splits happening, because they don't want to get below the $1 per share level. Once they go to that area, then they're gonna get a notification from Nasdaq, delisting notification, and once they get delisted out of the Nasdaq, it's very hard to come back. And so um, those are the things that these companies, these lower companies, have to pay attention of. And so, I mean, it had a second green day, but this day was not too significant. It had 5 million volume total, so I wouldn't pay attention too much of this one. So I'm just gonna focus on the most recent day, which was today. you know and right here on pre-market, we could see here a confirmation pullback, which is these 3 days, three red candles here, and the highest point is this one, which is the resistance level at pre-market. Once I mark that, then I'm looking for a breakout confirmation or a flush breakout. This thing had a pretty good confirmation breakout, and right here you could have entered right here on this lower side of this next candle, and this thing went all the way to 18%, guys. So that's kind of the profit you could have made there. Excellent. Let's say you missed the opportunity, right? All this that you see, all this price action, this is part of the support level. This line is not the only level of support. It's all this price action that you see here. That you see that there's a lot of buying and selling on these little small levels here, and this is pushing the price up. So um, let's say you missed this whole move, right? Let's say you missed this entire move. Let's say you wake up a little bit late, right? And now you're formulating a plan for this one, and your plan will be something similar as mine, which is waiting for the pullback and test of this support level. And this is kind of what it did. It tested the support around these ranges right here, for 140 to 148, right? And it bounced back up, testing the high day, and had a little small breakout, but it was not too strong. So you could have got in here on these next candles, and this thing went all the way up to 30%, guys. So these are the two ways. I mean, you could have took advantage of this stock. I mean, 18% plus 30%, that's 48%. So I mean, who wouldn't like 48% of profit on one day, in one day, guys, of whatever you're investing? I mean, it's a great opportunity. Now we don't see a lot of volume here, but still, I mean, the execution was perfect, and that's what we care about. It was enough demand there to trade. So That was pretty good, and these are the support levels. This one could be counted as a confirmation pullback, which is you could mark another support level up here, and right here is another confirmation pullback, which is this is the high day, and that right there are the ranges that you could use to track the uptrend. Where the price could make a turnaround to the downside. You would do uptrending support, and so right here you could mark the low level here, right, the lower price, and use the trend lines at which it pull back to kind of guide, use it as a guide as a support level. So if price breaks down these levels, I mean, it has to deal with this other support level, and once it gets broken, most likely you're gonna see it hit these lower levels. Okay, but if it does bounces, then you will see a test of high day, and that's kind of what we want to see for a continuation. Okay, right now price is above the VWAP, and that's what we want to see. And it's not, it gave back almost half of its gains. Almost, it's still above half, so it still have life. What we will want to see is a little bit more volume, more interest in the stock, and price action following up on a bounce off this uptrending support. Okay, so let's go ahead and write this other stock, a GZXN, and we want to go ahead and do the same thing we did on the top stock. I mean, price right now is at $1.65, cheap price. So we put here good price. Volume is low, but it's still, it's not too low. It's 11 million, so we could mark it as good volume, right? The float, as you can see, float is at 1 million. Anything below 10 million is a low float, so we put here low float. Another thing here is to check the news, which we already did. I mean, had good news, right? Which is investors to invest 40 million, I think it is. 40 million, yep. And so that's what we're gonna write here, 40 million. $40 million. And so that's pretty much for this one. And we're gonna check the daily, which we already did too. We already checked the daily. Not overall, not looking good. Overall daily, not good, but has history of running. And that's pretty key. That's what you want to see. And so Purple BTW says Alabama John said he wants to talk to you right now. He's alive. He's also alive live on Rumble. Come by when you can. Appreciate it for the message. Appreciate it very much. Let's go ahead and continue, guys. And so right here, as you can see, I mean, we already checked the daily, so the daily is already written down there. And the next thing we want to do is formulate a plan. So the way we want to, just like I said, the two things I like to do is breakouts or bounces off support, and to test the higher day, resistance levels. Okay, so plan is to bounce off uptrending support and test high of day at either 183 and 198. And so this is pretty much it. Not bad, very simple writing. It's not supposed to take long. I'm taking long because I'm explaining how everything works, but usually when you're doing it on your own, it only takes like 5 minutes max or less, depending how much experience you are looking at the stocks. And so when you're trading the stocks, guys, when you're starting to trade, you got to understand the tape, right? The tape is a box right in the software that you're trading at, where it's showing you the transactions that happen, when you're trading, on this stock, right? It's showing you the sell, the buy transactions, the selling transactions, and you can see there the information on how much shares were bought and everything, how much shares were sold. And so if there's no information, if there's no data showing on the tape, it won't show up on these charts. You won't see the green and the red on these charts if it doesn't show up first on the tape. Okay, so having the tape and seeing the fluctuation of buying and selling is really key. Okay, because based on that, you could determine that the stock has enough demand to price action to fluctuate. Okay, another thing to have right when you're trading is either level 2 or level 3 or level 4. Right there is going to show you, you know the who's selling the shares, right? Well, not gonna tell you specifically who's selling it. It's gonna show you the market makers that are selling a piece of share at whatever price that they want to sell. And they also show on the other side, they show also the market makers that are trying to buy at whatever price that they want to, with the shares that they want to buy. you know so it's just showing you two pictures there. It's showing you where the buyers are located and where the sellers are located, and where the demand is coming from. Is it who's in control, the buyers or the sellers? In the level 2, it will only show you wall of sellers or wall of buyers if there's a lot of demand for the stock, right? But in the level 3, it's going to show you, that software is going to show you where the big sellers are stacked up, which is normally is the resistance, the big sellers. And it's also going to show you you know the amount of buyers that are willing to buy at a higher amount of, for a lot of shares at a certain amount of price. And so that right there, you could determine that if there's a lot of buyers there willing to buy a bunch of shares at that point, that they're pending. That right there could be a nice, if that buying pressure gets executed, then that price is going to go up, or opposite, or vice versa. Okay, so you could look a little bit more clear where the resistance and where the support levels are. Okay, based on where the amount of buyers and sellers are. Okay, and so that's one thing to have on your arsenal. Level 2 or level 3. If you can have both, perfect. There's also level 4. Level 4 is a little bit more expensive. You have to pay for both level 2 and level 3 subscription. Level 4 is a little bit more expensive, but it gives you a lot of detail on, the same thing with level 3, where the buyers and the sellers are located, where the huge amount of buyers and sellers are located, to the excuse me, to determine where resistance is and where the support is. Okay, so that's pretty much it. I mean, I know I threw a lot of stuff to you guys. I hope I didn't overwhelm you guys, but in order for you to understand, you have to learn all these terms, and eventually you guys gonna get it. So hopefully you guys get most of it. And so let's go ahead and continue, guys. So I think I already did formulate a plan for this one, for these two stocks. And when you're trading, guys, this is all you need: one or two stocks. If you can add a third one, perfect. But you don't need too much. You don't need 10. You don't need to be watching 10 or 30 stocks at the same time. You most likely you're gonna miss a great amount, because these move very fast. And if you don't take action quickly, then you're gonna miss your opportunity. Okay, so that's pretty key. You only want to focus on two or three stocks, or even one. If one shows up that it's a great opportunity, then focus on one. Uh, there's no need to be greedy and try to get more out of the market when you could, consistently make, if you're disciplined, you could make almost the same amount that you're willing to make, over time. Okay. So Uoka here has a gap previously. But we could watch it really quick. I don't think we're gonna go ahead, and trade these because look at the volume. They're below they below the 10 million mark. Um, Most of these, I mean, look at the bottom one. There's more supply than demand, and that's what we don't want to see. So this one is already off the list. This one is gonna get off the list because there's more supply than the demand. Okay, and so the price could get more manipulated. Um, you know, um, if there was demand more than the supply. Okay. Um, BGMS, I mean, it's almost about to hit the 2 million. And look at the volume; it's almost at 2 million. So these are very, when it's close like that, when the supply is very close to to the demand, that's not good to see as well. Okay. Um, yeah, and we see here, I mean, it went from around 80 cents, a little bit above 80 cents to $1.30. But we don't know how active this thing was throughout the day. BGMS, let's check that really previously. I'm not gonna focus too much on it, but I hope it shows enough. Dorian D, Boricua, good to see you. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for showing support over here. Dorian D is another content creator, guys. Go ahead, show support to Dorian D. Really good guy. Go ahead, show support. Thank you for showing up again. And yeah, guys, let's go ahead and continue. We're almost done with the stocks. Hopefully, I wasn't, talking too much, but this is a thing that we have to do in order for you to like get the stocks, And just like I said, I purposely repeat myself so it could it could drill in, and you could understand a little bit more better the stocks. Okay. Dorian D says, I hope your your night and stream is going well, man. Looks like you're focused and locked in, listening while I'll make dinner. No problem, brother. Thank you for showing up. Thank you, I appreciate it very much. Yeah, man. I hope you have a great night, and yeah, man, be safe. What you're cooking, by the way? I'm kind of curious. I'm kind of curious. But I appreciate you coming by. Yeah, guys. If you guys have any questions, whoever's viewing, feel free to chat. Be active chatting. This Remember, this is a healthy community. This is what we do. We help each other grow, and yeah, this is what we do. So let's go ahead and continue. Um, JCXN is not the one we're looking at. We're gonna look at UOKA. 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 And so this thing, I mean, right now it looks interesting, but yesterday, well, not yesterday, today actually, you see all this price action that's happening here. Um, Not good to see, guys. I don't like this price fluctuation. It's very hard to see clearly. What I want to see out of a this price action, I want to see something like this, what you see here on the after hours. Okay. Dorian D says roasted a whole chicken and some buttered garlic sauce on some steamed veggies. Ooh, that sounds healthy. That sounds really healthy. Damn. Uh, Whole chicken and some butter garlic. Ooh, man, I'll tear that thing up. I'll tear that thing up. I'll probably eat two whole chickens with with some veggies. But yeah, man, I hope you enjoy it with your family and everything, and enjoy the food. Yeah, feel free to come by anytime that you want. Yeah, guys. So Dorian D, go ahead, show some support over there. Really good content creator. Yeah, go ahead, show some love over there. And so let's go ahead and continue. So this is the price action that I want to see. You see, I want to see a lot of green candles. The body filled. It doesn't matter what size is it, as long as you can see clear price action happening. On the buy side or the sell side. That's kind of what I want to see. I don't want to see something that I cannot first I cannot plan where I cannot see where the stock is price action is moving. Where the trend is moving. Right here, very difficult to tell where the price action is going. Where the trend line is going. So you see, all this is not too much demand of the stock. It was, it's picking up as in the after hours. It was picking up, and so we want to see why this thing is running. And so it says here on the 26th, it had an offering of 2.3 million units on firm commitment basis. So when a company runs an offering, they desperate for money, and so this is not good news, guys. When a company does a public offering, not good. And so I would suggest you guys do a little bit more research on it. I don't want to talk too much about it, but yeah, that's not a lot of good news. And so let's see if we could find another recent news about it through Finviz. Remember, there's many websites where you could go ahead and find news on different ways that you want to see on the stocks. One recommended will be Twitter or the X platform, whatever you want to call it. It's very recommended to go there to see who's talking about it. The amount of people that are talking about it. See how much people are talking, hyping the stock up. If there's a large amount of people talking about it, then that's pretty interesting because that attracts more buyers. And so um this thing, let's see if it did had on December 23rd, it said it had a announces a strategic design, let's see, subsidiary local global announces a strategic design partnership for Fernie Castle Oriental Garden and Castle Exhibition Project. So they're trying to promote their company. This is more of a promotion for to partnership with these other companies here. So partnership news is pretty good. However, we're not sure if this thing, if they had a legitimate partnership, through a contract or anything like that. So in order to know, you got to read a little bit more. It takes a little bit of time, but we don't want to. I mean, me as a day trader, I don't want to focus too much on the fundamental aspect of it, which is knowing a little bit more deeper about the company. I just see the headlines, and based on this, I already know there's some news, either positive or negative. And what I want to see is how the price reacts, how the stocks reacts to the news. Right now, it seems like it's reacting positively. Yeah, and so right here we can mark here this line because it had a confirmation pullback, which we like to see. This downtrending red candles here that you see all together, and I put the highest point right here as a resistance. And right now it seems like pre-market, since the market is closed, we're gonna have to wait to pre-market and see if this thing either broke out or it just bounced off these levels here. Okay, so this will be one to watch. UOKA. Let's go add another. I know I skipped a couple stocks, but I'm just gonna write here UOKA to watch for pre-market. However, demand not let me see here. Demand not much today. Good price. Newer Divergent one says, make sure you hit the follow, smash the thumbs up, and repost. Appreciate it. Thank you for the support. Yeah, guys, don't forget to hit the follow, the share, and the likes. Okay. So as you can see here, I mean, really simple. I don't keep I don't it doesn't have to be in the same order, as long as you could understand what you wrote, and follow your criteria. Okay. And so this is only to watch. Uoka's only to watch. You don't want to go ahead and put all your money in this one. You want to see how the price reaction, how it reacts to tomorrow on pre-market. Either it's gonna break out, and after that, if it breaks out with a lot of demand based on this type of news, then we want to formulate a plan to either wait for a bounce and re-breakout, or or wait till the market open and see if this thing picks up a little bit more. Okay, but we're gonna put a little bit amount of information. We don't have to put much. And just like I said, it has good price. The volume, low volume, um low volume here, and then the float, very low float, which has a little bit of our criteria, very low float, and has good news. And so after that, has yeah, partnership news is always good news. And so it has good news. Now we want to check the daily chart, right? The daily chart not look great overall. It doesn't look great. However, it does has these moments here where it runs, it had ran here for a couple months. um Other than that, I mean, it doesn't have much life. It did had a couple splits here to keep above that $1 level. So that's why you see these prices here, which is not real. It's because there was a split, and these the shares got flipped. You know, and so yeah, this thing looked like it's gonna continue to go down lower. But this previous move, it seems, a little bounce is having a little bounce, but not too significant for it to be, taken seriously for a long term. So do not take seriously for long term on these. Okay, so overall trend has history of running. However, overall trend no good. Okay, thank you, babe. So yeah, I've been served some food already. So my wife served me some food. So hopefully I can finish a little bit faster. I appreciate every single one of you guys for showing up and showing support. Don't forget to hit the like, the share, and the follow, guys. Um, let's go ahead and continue and finish off. We don't have too much to look at on the stocks. After this, we're gonna check the crypto really quick, and let's continue to watch. So it had history of running. However, overall trend no good. Right? Plan is to wait. Is to wait for a breakout, and we will formulate a plan later. And so that's pretty much simple, not too much. And so let's go ahead and go to the next one. We're gonna close all these, and the next one to look at, we already checked JZXN, BGMS. I mean, I guess we already checked them all because we're not gonna look at Max N, and BGMS is another one to look at. Let me see BGMS. It doesn't have a lot of volume, so we're gonna look. You see, this thing. I mean, you could hardly tell where the stock is gonna go. It lacks volume. We want to see more volume, and so on November 13 on this platform, it released a 10Q SEC report. So I won't go too much of on this, checking more in detail, because it's already a fundamental analysis, which we don't do in this on this channel. I would recommend anybody who knows B Money. He concentrates a little bit more on fundamental analysis, so I would recommend you guys to go to his channel and learn a little bit more fundamental. He's a great content creator, so go ahead, show support over there as well. His name is B Money. So let me go ahead and write his name so you guys could look if you guys want to learn a little bit more about uptrending, if you want to do like long-term trading. So B Money is the guy right there. That's his name right there. I wish I had a link. Well, I could find the link, but it's gonna take me extra time. So hopefully you guys could write that B Money on Rumble, and you will find him easily there through using that name, B Money. Fold with the lurk. Appreciate it. Thank you for coming by again and showing support. I can't believe I mean we still have a lot of people here watching. Thank you guys for showing support. We have right now 34 watching, so feel free to hit the like, the share, and the follow, guys. I appreciate it very much. And so this is what we do. We help each other out as a community. This is a very healthy community. So, whatever you feel, whatever you have questions or whatever on the chat, don't feel afraid to chat, and be part of the community. And so let's go ahead and continue studio, and let's go back and let's see if, oh, wait a minute, you guys can see it now. You guys can see it. Okay. So as you can see, I mean, there's not, I mean, it lacks volume and recent news, not attracting, guys. Let's see, we have another type of recent news here. So November 13th, yeah, it's the same news. Yes, I'm no longer gonna see this one. It doesn't have recent news for me to be interested in it. I want to see something that the price action is gonna, the stock is gonna react to really quick with a lot of demand. Just remember, we want to focus on supply and demand. That's the main things that we want to focus on. And so yeah, we're done with the stocks, and so now we're gonna hop into the crypto, guys. What most of you guys love crypto. This is the new. I mean, it's not new, but it's something that a lot of people are using nowadays. I use a coin market cap. This is only just to show you guys how to find the crypto, the low price crypto which you could afford very easily and make good profit if there's opportunities. So first thing I would like to check is how healthy the overall trend of crypto is at right now. Okay. And so I check here Bitcoin, right? It could be either through Bitstamp or Coinbase, or through crypto on TradingView. This one is a good one. I have marked a couple things here that I'm watching, that I'm paying attention of. And so this is kind of the little map of a strategy that I have on it, that I'm tracking. So right now, as you can see here, it had a bounce, right? Yeah, I just marked this, guys. So it had a bounce. Not sure if it's gonna reach. I'm sorry. Not sure if it's gonna reach these highs. What I'm waiting for, guys, is I'm waiting for another pullback and test of these uptrending support levels. Okay, sometimes, most of the time, it's not gonna hit the line, guys. That's not what we're looking for exactly. What we're looking for is a definitive bounce, kind of like this, right? You see, this is a temporary bounce, right? It had a couple candles and buying and selling pressure on the upside, and then it went down like this. And so that's kind of what we're looking for. We're looking for this type of price action. Okay, we're not looking for only one candle to go up, because that right there is not enough strength to buy all this selling pressure. Okay, so let me go back and show you a picture of what's happening right now, right? Based on pattern recognition, right now, what I'm seeing here is this here is what is called a head and shoulders. Okay, this is the shoulders right here. This is the shoulder. This is the head, right? And this is the other shoulder, right? And what happens is that right here, based on events that is happening since October all the way till now, there's a lot of events that happen that you guys already know on the news. Um, all this panic on the market. This is a reaction to that event or news. Okay, and so this is panic. This is more panic compared to these small temporary pullbacks. Okay, this is considered a panic right here. These are more panic. Now, when support can no longer hold these levels, it gets broken, right? These levels get broken. These levels of support. Now, this right here, these trends right here that you see, these little channels, these also consider part of the support. Just like I said before, just like I said a couple minutes ago or a couple hours ago, these levels alone is not considered resistance or support. It is all these channels together, you know, of sellers pushing the price down. You know, there are levels that buyers either don't want to buy it at those levels. They're, it's too pricey, too expensive, and buyers don't want to, hold it, or selling a lot of selling pending orders got executed at a higher amount that the buyers couldn't buy at all those orders pending. And so, as you can see, I mean, there's a lot of selling pressure there. And if you want to see, just like I said, any when you see here pattern recognition, when I'm talking about pattern recognition, is that I'm trying to see something that already passed, that already happened in the past. And if you go back into history of Bitcoin, right, you could see right here something similar, right? This thing is a head and shoulder also, right? This thing started, this drop started since April 2021, and it ended somewhere around uh June 2022. So it happened for quite a long, I mean, a lot of months, you know. And so as you can see here, you have the shoulder, you have the head, and you have the small shoulder. And once it cracked here, it just kept tanking. And as you can see here, I mean, once it tanked, it then recovered, and it had a turnaround here. And what happened with the turnaround? It just went back up and it tested these highs again. So it's very temporary. However, I mean, this was also a panic here in this time. I mean, what happened in those years in 2022. I mean, from 2021 to 2022, you guys already know what happened. I don't wanna say it because I don't want to get dinged by YouTube or anything like that. But you already know what happened in between 2021 and 2022. Okay. And that event, the market reacted to it, and that's why you see all this panic happening here. Okay. But it was temporary. These are temporary things. The overall market of the Bitcoin is still healthy, and it will continue to be healthy because this is, I mean, it's not old, but I mean, it's not too new either. Okay. This Bitcoin just started around 2010, somewhere around there, 2009, 2010. So, Bitcoin is not too old, but it's not too new either. Okay. And it still have a lot of life. It could be compared to the S&P 500. Okay. So, it still has a lot of life. So this is just a temporary thing that's happening. It might continue to go lower, but this purple that you see here, this extension, this is all support levels holding the price. Okay. And so it cracked a little bit. It cracked the support level, but it couldn't buy all this amount of support. Okay. So it my plan, the plan that I formulate is to wait for it to bounce off somewhere around these support levels, anywhere around these support levels, and bounce and have at least a little uptrending a channel, right? And in this uptrending channel is testing these resistance levels, which is all these little channels here, right? All these little channels here again, you know, that are connected to the resistance levels, right? This have almost half and half resistance, half support, but there's a great majority that has a resistance. Okay. And so all we want to see is another bounce off resistance, and then test the support level once more before it takes off. Okay. And on that takeoff, I could either buy somewhere around these levels here and take advantage either halfway, or wait for it to nearly hit the highs for, to take profit. Or you could go ahead and go long term. You could go long term on these. You know, a lot of people here that bought Bitcoin way earlier, they just they didn't panic when the price was dropping like this. They just went ahead and added to their position. Okay, every drop they went ahead and added to their position. When it went this high, I mean, when it did these dips like this, they didn't go ahead and panic. They kept continuing adding to their position. Every time it drops, they go ahead and add more into their position, and it just favors them in the long run. And so that's kind of the way you're supposed to look at these bigger stocks. Okay, these bigger cryptos. Okay, so this was a great opportunity there to buy at the dip and keep on going for the long run because this thing is going to continue running. Okay, so this is good to go ahead and test and see and know a little bit more about. So do your due diligence and understand crypto. Understand how to acquire coins, right? Either Bitcoin, Ethereum, how to swap your money for the coins, the whatever type of coin that you're trying to acquire, whether BNB, USDT, Ethereum, which is ETH, Bitcoin, know these little things, how to acquire them, how to trade all of these, what platforms to use. And so on my Discord, guys, I have a list of links that will help you either to find more crypto, running crypto, or either to understand a little bit more on how to jump into this area, which is not new. I mean, it's been going for years, but some of you guys are jumping into the field to understand a little bit more about crypto, and you're just starting from zero. So this is one way to understand a little bit about crypto. But let me go ahead and now and show you guys how to find what I normally trade if I'm trading crypto. And so this is the web that I use, Coin Market Cap. Hopefully you guys are able to see it. Coin Market Cap. And so if you don't see all this, right, just hit the title. Hit the title and it should show you what you're looking for, all this, right? And so the next thing I want to do is I want to go to filter, right? And on filter, you're going to see this box right here, right? On filter. And on this filter, we only need, I'm only going to use 3 criterias, guys. I'm going to only use market cap. I'm only going to use volume, which is the demand of the stock, of the crypto. And I'm going to only use percentage change. Why I'm using percentage change is because crypto works 24 hours, guys. Crypto doesn't sleep. Okay, crypto works 24 hours, and it also runs on the holidays too. Okay, so that's a great thing. Why? Because there's a lot of opportunities every day, every hour. There's always opportunities to jump at these. Okay, so I would suggest you guys to do your homework, understand a little bit more about crypto, either fundamentally or technically. Okay, so on market cap, which is the total company value, I want to see anything at 1 million, right? This is going to be a little bit more different than stocks, but all the concept is almost the same. The same way I look at stocks, I also look at the same at crypto. Okay, and so I want to see anything from 1 million company value to 10 million company value. That's a little bit too low, but it's good because you're gonna see now what I'm looking at. Volume, the 24-hour volume, I want to go ahead and see anything over 1 million volume, and I want to see anything no more than 100 million volume. And so percentage change, I want to see anything 10% and no more than 500%, guys. And so once you input that criteria, you press apply, right? And now you have, instead of 100, a lot of pages of crypto, you have a pretty basic amount of pages. And now what you could do is sort from percentage change. We're not sorting from volume because the market is still open on crypto, and so it's always trading, so we want to see the fluctuation of percentages. So we sort out from high to lowest, and so you got plenty of options here. I don't know how many pages, so one page, guys, one page. There's 86 cryptos to look at. You're not gonna look at all 86. What we wanna focus is anything over 20% is part of my criteria. Okay, and so there's a lot of options here. Why there's a lot of options? Because remember, Bitcoin is moving up. You know, all day it's been moving up. So what happens? All these little cryptos, they follow the big guy. Okay, and that's why they all appear here. And so psyop anime is one of them that I've been looking at for quite a while. And before I jump into checking every single one of them, we're gonna look at the crypto that we had listed yesterday, okay, which is Zeus Network, and we're gonna check that same one that we just mentioned. Okay, so Zeus Network, we said here it looks like a turnaround after breakout and downtrending resistance. We'll monitor. Okay, it doesn't have the same amount of criteria that I mark normally, but I would recommend you guys to use almost the same amount of criteria. Okay, you want to see how much, if there's more demand than supply. You want to see the news, why this thing is moving. You want to see who are the owners. I mean, if this crypto is legit to trade, if a lot of people are trading it. And so I'm not gonna write that here because it will take me another couple hours, and I mean, right now my food is getting cold. But I would love to give you guys more information, but um little by little I'll try to do other type of streams. But eventually, I'm gonna jump into this later on in the future. Okay, but in the meantime, we're gonna look at Zeus. So Zeus Network, I think it is. Let me go ahead and write it down again. Zeus Network. Yep. So you go to Trading View, right, and you make sure to hit crypto, right, and then you can see here Zeus Network. And somewhere around here, as you can see, Zeus USDT, which is the one that is trading the most. Just like stocks. These stocks, these cryptos here are not good to trade long term. This is only short term, guys. Okay. Next thing you want to check is the 5 minute. We had mark here downtrending resistance. This thing looked like it was gonna turn around, which it did for a very short period. Right here, you could have took advantage of this crypto. I mean, you could have waited for the pullback bounce off the support levels, which it did really uh exactly perfectly. In other words, it just bounced perfectly. And so this thing went up all the way to 65% on that move, guys. Very short term. In 2 hours and 55 minutes, guys, it made 65% profit. Whoever would have took that trade, I mean, you could have did a good job here. Thanks. The Rumble Boss says, thanks for the follow, Rich Ray 1. Appreciate it for showing up. Thank you for the support. Feel free to look at all my streams. I pretty much talk about almost the same thing, and I do it purposely, because that's how you're gonna learn, if you rinse and repeat everything that you're learning. And eventually you're gonna get better. And so thank you for showing up, and welcome to the team. This is a healthy community. And so we're here helping each other out grow. And if you're a content creator, hit me up. Let me know you're a content creator so I could follow you and I could support your channel either through chatting with you and watching hours as well. Okay. And I also share your content, either reposting here on Rumble or on other platforms as well. Okay. So feel free to chat and be part of the team as well. Thank you. And so, yeah, guys, look, 65%, guys, in 2 hours, guys. You know how long it takes some of these big companies to make 65%, guys? It takes them years, guys. And this thing made it in 2 hours. Okay? In 2 hours, you could have made good profit there if you know what you're doing. Okay? You don't want to throw You don't want to jump at something that you're not gonna, you don't know if it's gonna go up or down. You got to know what you're doing, and it takes time to understand pattern recognition, to understand the candles. If this is the type of trading that you like, this is day trading, guys. This is not long-term trading. This is very short-term. And if you're looking for very short-term money, this is kind of what you gotta have. In the stock market and in crypto market, this is kind of what you gotta do. Okay. Um, Very short-term. And so 2 hours and 55 minutes, you could have made 65% on that move. So that was a pretty good move. Now, overall, I mean, it looks like it's coming down now. And so this was the support level. I'm not sure if this is going to continue. I mean, right now it's losing volume. And so, yeah, this thing, I'm not going to go ahead and add it to the list. This one is going to be out of the list, but it was a good trend there. Very good crypto. Very good opportunity. That's kind of what I wanted to say. And so PsyUp Anime is another one we're looking at. We said here looking for a bounce off uptrending support level. Will it bounce and test high day? And that was a question. I forgot to add that as a question mark. So we'll see. We'll see what it. Oh, look at that! Look at that, guys. That's what I'm talking about. We say here looking for a bounce off uptrending support level. Will it bounce and test high day? And as you can see here, I mean, this thing it didn't bounce successfully off of the uptrending, but all this is support, right? This is all support, and you could have got it right after it broke out these uptrending support resistance levels. Okay, once it get below these uptrending support level, this uptrending support becomes a uptrending resistance level. Okay, and so once it get broken again, I mean, you could have took advantage either on the same candle, or you could have waited for the next candle to open. This thing went up 30% on this little move right here on 15 minutes. In 15 minutes, this thing made 30%, guys. So this is the kind of power of these type of crypto, guys. In 2 days, in 1, 2, 3 days, guys, in 3 days, you could have made, let me see how much you could have made in 3 days. 259%, guys. 259%. That's almost 3 times whatever money that you're trying to get at the end of the day. Okay, let's say you put in $1,000 plus 259%, 259%. You would have made 3,590 out of the $1,000 that you put in. So that's around almost 3 times your money. Okay, that's how fast you could be making profit. You just gotta learn what you're trading, and you gotta understand everything. Support, resistance, volume, supply, news, why this thing went up. Check the news. This web here, the good thing about this, it has many options. You have many different things here that you could look at. You could check out the news, right, and see if this thing had a recent news. You got people talking about it here. The company itself could have posted something here as well. But in this case, I mean, you got people talking about it, and you could check more on what do you call it, on oh my god, on the X platform, on Twitter. You could have seen a lot of more information if more people were interested about it. So that's a good thing to check. And so PsyUp Anime, great move, awesome move, guys. So that's the kind of opportunity you could have here. It's up, so we're gonna continue watching it and see if it's gonna turn around, pull back, and bounce off these support levels and continue. So we're gonna add the information. The first thing I would do is put the today's date, right, which is the 26th, and we want to add time. which is 7:32 p.m. And we want to keep monitoring. Wait, plan is to wait. Awesome move. Plan is to wait for pullback, bounce off support levels, and test high day again for another breakout. So that's kind of what we do. I mean, if it hits, it hits. If it doesn't hit, then it's okay. We'll look for more opportunities, but we don't want to go ahead and jump at every single crypto and just put money in it without knowing what to do. Okay, so we want to plan this out. We want to know, using our criteria. We want to know if this crypto qualifies. Okay, so we're trying to qualify this crypto before we ever put anything on a watch list. Okay, and so that was pretty good move. This one right here, it had a Asian words. I mean, it's very difficult. I'm sorry, difficult for me to find here on TradingView. And I'm not sure if I would have I can't find it there. I'm not able to find it. So it had a, and I mean, it had a pretty good move here. I mean, if you, the only way well, you're gonna have to see, if this company is legit. If it's legit, then right here you can see the information of the contract, and you could use that contract to, you know, acquire coins of of this um this crypto. And so right now, if you could see the market, right? If you hit markets, you could see down here where in what coin is it getting traded the most, right? And you can see here it's been trading. There's 1.1 million of volume being traded on WBNB. Okay, so if you want to acquire this guy right here, it would be recommended to trade on WBNB, because if you trade over here on USDT, and let's say you buy shares, who the hell is gonna sell? Who the hell is gonna buy your shares? Okay, there's nobody here trading. Okay, on this platform, so you're the only one stuck on it, right? Or let's say somebody else came in and sold you their shares. You're the only one here stuck, and that's a bad idea, to be stuck on this on a trade. Okay, that's why you want to have demand, you want to have volume. Okay, and a lot of volume. Okay, so this one will be the one that you want to focus the most. Okay, because it's being actively traded the most out of all of these. Okay, so that's one tip right there that, hopefully it works. It's gonna work for you guys. And let's go ahead and continue, guys. We don't have a lot more to go. Hopefully this information gave you guys value. Um, I do this every day from Monday to Friday, guys, and on Saturday and Sunday, guys, we do gaming. We do a little bit, we have a little bit of fun, and hopefully you guys could, show support over there as well. And yeah, guys. Let's see if we could check one more, guys. I know these. I mean, you don't want to list all these on your watch list. It's too much crypto to analyze, and you're gonna be all day looking. Spending a lot of hours when all these cryptos are moving very fast, and most likely you're gonna lose your opportunity to get in to take advantage on one of these. Okay, but the most key thing is finding them. Okay, finding these cheaper price cryptos. That's kind of the mission that we were looking for here, to teach you guys how to find them, and show you a little strategies here and there, on how the candlesticks work, on the charting, on these charting, how everything works. And hopefully this gives you a little bit more, shows you a little bit more interest in stocks and crypto. So you could, if this is something that you're looking to learn a new skill, then yeah, any question that you guys have, feel free to ask. I'm gonna do my best to show you guys, so you guys could have a great journey, a good experience, and don't fall in the same trap that the majority that have been unsuccessful in stocks and crypto have fallen. Okay, so I hope you guys love the stream. Feel free to hit the like, the share, and the follow. And yeah, share to anybody in social media, anybody who that's wanting to learn stocks. And yeah, we do this. We're gonna try to help anybody else out. Growing their content as well. Any content creator as well. I focus on helping them out too. So if you're a content creator, don't forget to hit me up so I could help you with some watch hours and stuff, and yeah, help each other as a community. Okay, I appreciate again at my God, I forgot his name. At America's Untold Stories, guys. He's the one that rated the stream. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I mean, I was shocked. I was not expecting that amount. So I appreciate you very much for showing support. And yeah, guys, I'll see you guys on the next one. We're gonna go ahead and rate somebody, guys, because just the same way they pay me back positively, that's the same way I'm gonna go ahead and pay another streamer positively as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and pass the love and go ahead and rate another person. Okay, so let's go ahead and show love. And let's see who's streaming right now. Bear with me for a minute, guys. Let's see who we could show support. So we're gonna go ahead and show support to Hesic. Hopefully the majority. Oh, you know what? I'm not sure if most of you guys have premium. So let me not make it more complicated, and let's do someone that doesn't have the premium right now open, because I don't want to, if the majority here doesn't have premium, then I don't want to lose the amount here. So hopefully you guys enjoy. Let me see who can we get in right now. Who's another one? Okay. Logical Raven. We're gonna go ahead and show love to Logical Raven. Hopefully you guys show support over there. Hit the like, the share, and the follow, guys. I hope you like his stream. Right now he's playing a little bit of Fortnite, so hopefully you guys could enjoy his stream and show some love, guys. So hopefully this works. And yeah, we're gonna go ahead and pass the rate over there. I'll see you guys tomorrow, Saturday, for gaming. And if you only wanna see stocks, so I'll be back on Monday with stocks. Okay. Have a good one. Enjoy your day, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Okay. All right.